back and enjoy our second commentary of the day. It's Hibs against Motherwell with Alan Preston, Stephen Craigan and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you very much indeed, Kenny. I laughed because Alan Preston mentioned that Archie Mayer was tall. He's 6'6". He does stand out quite a bit, 1.98 metres if you prefer it, in that. Motherwell in the steel grey kit with the Motherwell tartan trim, and Hibs currently got the tracksuit tops on, currently shaking hands, moving from right to left. Go Motherwell, our referee Colin Stephen in the middle with his two assistants Frank Connor and Andy Mirren. Hibs this afternoon, Jordan Smith in goal. Two changes made from the team that played the three each against Rangers. We suspect Cadden, O'Hora, Bashiri and Ardale as the back four. Nicky Cadden, Dylan Levitt, Victorious Triantis and George Campbell. Midfield with Boyle and Gale, the two men up front. 6 changes for Motherwell. First start for Archie Mayer, who would not have been expecting this even yesterday. And it's going to be interesting to hear Kai Andrews on loan from Coventry City plays in the midfield as well. They do have experience in that back line with O'Donnell and McGinn, for example. Paul McGinn, former Hibs player. In front of Archie Mayer will be Blaney, Balmer and McGinn. O'Donnell and Wilson, the wide men. Sparrow, Halliday and Andrews with Tony Watt and Jack Bell, the two players up front. Paul McGinn chatting to his former colleague Martin Boyle, the two captains this afternoon down below. Handshakes with the referee and with each other. Hibs break to the right hand side and Colin Stephen with a yellow jersey and black shorts, black socks wanders off into the middle. We're ready to get going this afternoon here on BBC Radio Scotland, and when you look round this ground it looks a fairly normal January afternoon. It's hard to imagine all the bad weather across Scotland and all the snow and ice there is there. But Josh Campbell gets ready to get us underway. Josh Campbell standing, hands on hips, pink boots, standing inside the Motherwell half. The referee just checking with both of his assistants, and the second commentary match on BBC Radio Scotland is underway. Pulled out wide onto Chris Cadden, and Cadden will play it across onto Rocky Bushiri, who gets a cheer as he pushes it out to the far side onto Jack Ardale. Ardale over the halfway line, sends it down for Josh Campbell to chase. Kofi Marmer comes across and Campbell tries to play it off him, doesn't do so, and the ball runs out of play. It's going to be a throw into Motherwell, coming from right to left, and that throw, Balmer making himself available as Andy Halliday, dropping in there too is Kai Andrews. Launch long, goes past Jack Vale up to the halfway line. Bushiri plays it forward, solid header away by Blaney. Triantis in the midfield, tries to knock it down, sent high to this far side. Cadden brought it down well, but doesn't hold on to it, and Campbell goes chasing Wilson, and Blaney manages to get the ball away very quickly indeed. Into the midfield, Kai Andrews is there. Andrews takes it, opens it up, plays it out wide to Stephen O'Donnell on the halfway line. Back across the back three, and it's McGinn in the middle with Balmer to the right and Slattery out to the left. Slattery has it inside his own half, lays it forward looking for Vale. Vale didn't turn to face the ball and it was easily won by Cadden. Played forward over the halfway line, dropped on by Blaney. Halliday is under pressure from Campbell. Campbell pops him on his backside, then pats him on the back. These are the early thoughts of Stephen Craigan.
I think it's important when you're the team away from home that you can try and get a foothold in the game early on. The last thing you want to be doing, particularly coming to an Easter road that should be full of life, full of energy after last weekend's game here against Rangers, you've got to try and get hold of the ball, take a little bit of the sting out of the game and grow in confidence as you go.
Rocky Bushiri thinks he's Johan Cruyff now, moving out from the back after that goal during the week. Lovely little shimmy to get himself free. He's a player who thrives on confidence, and he's got it.
And he's out of contract in the summer, so he's now playing for his future as well. You know, there's talk about him getting a new deal here at Easter Road. It was one when he first came. It was actually a mistake that he got the 3-year deal in the first place.
Rocky Bushiri at the heart of the defence for Hibs. Motherwell have it inside their own half. Andy Halliday plays the ball back onto Paul McGinn, takes a touch, gets away from Dwight Gale. Dwight Gale wears 34, playing back-to-back games from the start for Hibs for the first time. Ball gets played forward over the head of Tony Watt, breaks into Jack Vale, but it's picked up by Hibs and it's gathered and played away by Dylan Levitt. Levitt out onto Josh Campbell. Campbell halfway line, Ardale told by Campbell to play it back down the line. That's what he does, a little bit slowly. Campbell I thought was pushed in the back, but Hibs have the ball and they will continue. Ardale into Bushiri. Bushiri has won O'Hora takes the touch, tries to play it on the inside, knocks it off Tom Sparrow. Ball goes out of play, and it's a throw into Hibs just in front of the Motherwell technical area.
I think the one thing that the substitutes, or sorry, the changes to the team for Motherwell was brought energy into the team. I thought they looked very flat and leggy against Kilmarnock, against Aberdeen, second half, even against 10 players. They looked heavy-legged. So I think just bringing in the likes of Tom Sparrow and Kai Andrews and Stephen O'Donnell just brings freshness, Paul.
Kai Andrews, just 18, he's played a couple of times for Coventry City, gets his chance to start this afternoon. 0-0 so far at Easter Road. Hibs drop the ball short. Dylan Levitt looks up, plays the ball across onto O'Hara. O'Hara on the halfway line, knocks it forward, early ball, and Triantis tried to play it to Martin Boyle, but was in too much of a hurry. Martin Boyle had checked his run and the ball goes behind. Goal kick.
Yeah, you can see it coming from one side of the pitch to the other. Triantis just got to take a touch. You know, him and Boyle are having a conversation now. Boyle then, yes, he does like the ball down the line to run onto at times, but sometimes also he'll like to stand still when they can play the 1-2 with Triantis.
Doesn't it just show you how far Martin Boyle has come in the past 4 or 5 weeks? He's now got the captain's armband on. You know, throughout the season he hasn't been a first choice, and suddenly now he's come back to the experienced player.
And how many times though have we seen it, that every club where a player gets to the last 6 months of his contract and starts to turn it on again?
You're cynical.
I'm true, I'm honest. It happened to Josh Ginnelly at Hearts. Ginnelly would never kick the ball for 2.5 years. The last 6 months he's magnificent, gets his move to Swansea and he's off.
Yeah, he was outstanding. It can happen, human nature and all that. The ball gets played out onto this near side. 0-0. O'Hara back inside onto Bushiri. Bushiri, Hibs linking with the back three. It is Ardale, Bushiri, O'Hara with the two Caddens wide. Levitt and Triantis sitting, and Campbell trying to get up to support Boyle and Gale. Now they have the ball inside their own half, lifted out wide. Ardale is there. Nicky Caddens calling for it out wide, but it'll be jabbed forward onto Gale. Gale flicks it around the corner, looking for Josh Campbell, only one in the box, so he'll take a touch, check, play it back onto Nicky Cadden. Cadden into the middle. Kofi Barmer gets it away. Dylan Levitt with a header out wide, easily won by O'Donnell. Andrews brings it down, tries to flick it up towards Vale. He'll lose out to Ardale, and Triantis will bring the ball down. Good spell from Hibs.
And you can see the class act that Gale is as well. It was a lovely little flick round the corner, really was. He's a top class player. I know you're saying he's possibly going to retire at the end of the season. You hope not, because he's got brilliant attributes.
Rocky Bushiri with a slide tackle as Jack Vale tries to get away down that left hand side. Good covering from the Hibs defender.
It's amazing how you can change people's minds as a football player. If you're committed, you cut out mistakes, you're better at what you do. And Rocky Bushiri is a prime example, Paul. Yes, he may be in the latter stages of his contract, but I think his all-round game and his concentration levels are so much better.
Yeah, he looks a different player. I think he prefers the back three to the back four, certainly a little bit more secure as the ball runs out of play down behind. And here at Easter Road it remains after nearly 6 minutes, goalless. And Jordan Smith will gallop.
It's just a different Easter Road as well, with the atmosphere. You can hear it, the fans are supporting them. I've been here early on in the season, Paul, when it was toxic at times, but now the crowd are patient. You can see Hibs are trying to ball for the back, and even the centre halves, who we've all talked about all season not being good enough, are starting to show a bit better performances.
So there's the back three of O'Hara, Bushiri and Ardale, just knocking the ball amongst themselves at the moment. And it'll be gathered and played forward by Bushiri onto Jack Ardale on that left hand side. Over the halfway line it goes, just jabbed back to him by Nicky Cadden. Dwight Gale made himself available, but Campbell went in the advanced position. The long ball gets played through, and it's taken in by Archie Mayer. He sat on the bench for Norwich this season, but that's been about the extent of his action.
And I think that's what Motherwell want. They want Bushiri, they want Iredale, they want O'Hara trying to play those long straight balls, because it suits Motherwell. They don't want the midfield players and the wide players giving the service higher up the pitch. So you can tell by their setup they're quite happy to leave the three central defenders on the ball to try and start the play.
Hibs on a free kick inside the centre circle. Sparrow's trying to stop it from being taken, but it comes out onto Chris Cadden. Cadden trying to get away from Ewan Wilson. Cadden gets in, swings a curling ball across. O'Donnell has to head the ball down the middle. It's played back by Levitt. Levitt scoops it out wide. Nicky Cadden trying to take on O'Donnell. He's going to scoop that right across and past Wilson. It'll take a bounce outside the box. It's Chris Cadden who'll get on the end of it. Lays the ball back. Triantis plays the ball on the inside onto Dylan Levitt, making his first start since he played against Celtic on opening day. Out wide to Chris Cadden, into the middle it goes. Paul McGinn scoops it away. Jack Vale tries to get his header on it. Kai Andrews comes down for him, but he loses the ball, and he tries to make the tackle again. Gets it at the second attempt, plays it on to Tony Watt, who draws what he thinks will be the free kick from Jack Ardale.
And already you can see, it was apparent for me that Cadden's got the beating of Wilson for pace. He's a good player, young Wilson he is, but Cadden's quick. First opportunity he gets to take him on, he does it, he knocks it by him, goes by him and whips across in. That has to be an out for Hibs all day now.
Well, he was the one I thought could have done with the rest. I watched him on Thursday night, and he's a young man. He's played a lot of games this season, considering what he has done previously, and he's looked a little bit heavy. They don't have a left wing back to come in and play in place of him, so he's going to have to play. I just think he has to be wary of Chris Cadden when there's a bit of grounding behind him. Drop off. You can't allow him just to knock the ball and simply run past you.
It's his 28th start all the season. He's played in every single game. All 30 now for Motherwell. They bring the ball forward through Jack Vale, who's dropped short to the halfway line, tries to play it out wide. Kai Andrews sends it too long, and it's the goalkeeper in blue, Jordan Smith, rolls it out to Rocky Bushiri. Got that equalising goal against Aberdeen, and ever since Hibs have been a different team. That 3 each game in November. Long ball played forward into the box, well read by Paul McGinn. Gets in front of Martin Boyle inside the area, drifts outside now, plays it forward onto Tom Sparrow. Sparrow outside his own box, gets it across onto Andrews, allows the ball to run across his body and flicks it out wide onto O'Donnell. He was taken down. It was Triantis who was tracking him back, and it's a free kick. The referee just saying a little word with Triantis. Free kick played on the angle. It's intercepted though by Chris Cadden. Cadden trying to come forward, but he's headed the ball out of play. You can see Stephen Craig and the urgency that Hibs are trying to play with.
They are, but then it's up to Motherwell when they get the ball just to try and take this thing out of it. And I think having Paul McGinn back is a huge bonus to him. He's different than the other centre-halves they have at the club already. You can see him, he takes a touch, he slows the play up, he rolls in the midfield, he gets it back, he allows him to have a bit more control in the game, Paul. But you're right, Hibs are probably too keen to get the ball forward.
I'm liking the look of Andrews. I think he's a decent player, young lad on loan from Coventry City. Takes the ball in tight areas, likes to get turned and play passes.
Ball played back by Ewan Wilson. On to Shane Blaney. No goals here, no goals to Mirren against Dundee United. We await the breakthrough in the only championship match that survived today. It's Falkirk against Queen's Park earlier on today. Ross County 1, Celtic 4. The scoreline not telling the whole story. Ardale will play the ball out wide. On to Campbell, 35 yards from goal. Josh Campbell scored last time these sides met. Deflected, played behind first corner of the match. Goes the way of the home side.
And you would imagine Martin Boyle's going to whip this right on top of Archie Mayer. It's the first real test for the young keeper.
Of course, we watched Liam Kelly last weekend trying to come for a cross to the goal to our left. Couldn't get amongst the bodies. Dwight Gale was right in front of him, stopped him coming. Where's Dwight Gale? Standing right in front of Archie Mayer.
I'm not sure Archie Mayer's had a chance to review the footage from last week, but he'll certainly be aware, or he should be told, what Dwight Gale will be up to. It is like little and large out there. And there's Archie Mayer, all in red, stands on his line. He's being impeded as he comes out, gets a punch on the ball, but he was being impeded. It's a free kick. Gets the fist bump from Stephen O'Donnell. Good play from the young keeper.
Yeah, very good. Good decision to come for it. Gets a punch on it. It's not a clear punch. It knocks it down and out of the danger area. He is fouled, so that'll give him a lot of confidence, the young man. Good start.
I think that's the key, whether you're a young outfield player making your debut or for your new club, or whether it's a goalkeeper, you just want to touch. You want to do something positive so you can get that vibe in the body and the mind, convince yourself you're actually okay and things are going to be okay for you.
Kai Andrews, the outfield player, making his first full start for Motherwell. Archie Mayer making his debut today, plays the ball forward, picked up by Triantis. Triantis gets it out wide, on to Nicky Cadden. Cadden trying to get away from Kai Andrews, who wears 54 for Motherwell. Quayle, that's outrageous, lovely little ball inside. On to Campbell, who plays it down the side for Martin Boyle. Boyle takes the touch, he's offside, just went a little bit too early, but Dwight Gale just popped the ball back inside. Lovely play.
It's 2 wonderful touches already from him. You can see the class he's got playing the English Premier League. The ball's whipped into him, and it's a beautiful little back flick into the path of the Hibs player. Wonderful play from Gale.
He's just got such a good football brain, and at the level he's played at, he probably gets players who are in the same wavelength as him. So the Hibs players are going to have to switch on quick. When the ball goes up to him, they've got to expect something a little bit different, and I think he's done that so far.
No goals so far, no goals in Paisley St Mirren against Dundee United. We'll keep you up to date with that. The ball is out of play on that far side. There is a Hibs player down. I think it's Nicky Cadden, slow to get back to his feet. Referee Colin Stephen just checking on him at the moment, just making sure that he's okay. It will be a Motherwell throw. Cadden is slow to recover. He may be winded, I think is the technical term. We'll see if he gets back up. Yeah, he looks like he's been just a little knock, but he'll be okay. Just a normal challenge, and Motherwell will get the throw. Ball thrown into Paul McGinn. 91 games for Hibs, 92nd game for Motherwell this afternoon. As the ball turns, takes a touch, plays it beyond Boyle, kept in just by O'Donnell. Nice touch back by Andy Halliday. McGinn will open it up onto Blaney inside his own half. Blaney plays the ball forward, looking for Sparrow. Sparrow couldn't take it to Warner. O'Hara decides he's going to just pop that into the stand. Long high ball into the stand. 13 minutes gone, goalless so far. Ewan Wilson has the throw. Wilson who got his first goal for Motherwell. Cracking finish against Aberdeen in that victory. The ball gets sent back all the way to Archie Mayer. Mayer opens up, plays it on to Blaney. Blaney sends it back onto Archie Mayer. Stephen, as a former centre-half, when you've got a new goalkeeper you've never played alongside, what's the communication with him? What's the thought?
Well, particularly from cross balls, Paul, I would always have suggested stay where you are and let the centre-halves deal with it until you understand what we're going to do, what kind of style of player we are, and then take it from there. Don't take any risks, unnecessary risks.
Also Stephen Craigan here on BBC Radio Scotland as Hibs play the ball into the middle. Blaney hacks the ball away. It will come outside the box onto Cadden. Cadden drifts down that right hand side, turns it back inside. Triantis is there. Cadden made a great run, but good block by Wilson, made sure the pass couldn't get away. Dylan Levitt now plays it back onto Campbell. Campbell sends it out wide. Cadden back on the inside. Here's Josh Campbell. Dylan Levitt calling for the ball once more, but the ball is played across and it's going to be picked up by Ardale. Ardale sends it out wide onto Nicky Cadden, back to the centre circle and Rocky Bushiri. O'Hara, Hibs shuffling the ball from left to right, trying to find space in behind this Motherwell defence, trying to work the 1-2. Cadden's away from Wilson. Now there's the ball into the box. The goalkeeper doesn't get it. It's headed away by O'Donnell and flicked out by Andrews, who wipes out his man as he wins the header. The ball runs out of play and the referee is just going to have a little check here. The goalkeeper, I think, was caught betwixt and between, and the ball eventually headed away.
Yeah, but again, it's Cadden beating Wilson for pace down the line. He's going to have to get his distances better, get closer to him if he can. It's just, as soon as Cadden gets the ball, completely, as soon as Cadden gets the ball, all he's going to do is knock it by him, and Wilson just can't compete.
It's a 1-2, and you always say to young players or any player, when the ball's played off for a 1-2, don't follow the ball, you're dead. If the ball gets played inside, match your man. Ball was played inside. Ewan Wilson has a look, realises the 1-2's on, and Chris Cadden's away from him. It looks like it's going to be a crossing masterclass this afternoon from the Cadden brothers. We all know Nicky Cadden could cross the ball, but Chris Cadden's already had 2 or 3 opportunities.
And it's not a penalty either. You know, it's coming together in the box, good defending, goes to win it, knocks it away. I think the Hibs players are asking for a penalty, but it's certainly not a penalty kick.
No, I don't think so either. Nicky Cadden's slow to get up.
I think it was Kai Andrews that won the header. Now, that was something that was spoke about during the week, that against Kilmarnock when he came on, albeit for 10 minutes or something, he looked good in the ball and he's tidy and he can receive the ball well. He's got a good football brain. But for young players coming into the first team environment, Paul, it's always about what you can do going back the way. Do you have the willingness? Do you have the awareness to track runs and match the runs? And he managed to do it on that occasion. So hopefully he's got both sides of his game.
Nicky Cadden may have taken a sore one just to the face. I think they're going to check him as he's going to wander off behind. And we'll check to see if he's going to be okay. They're bringing him across the field. He's certainly holding a tissue to the face. It looks like a burst nose, so it might be a change of jersey required as well. There will be some blood on the jersey. Hibs will have a throw, but they will play with 10 men. I'm still not wonder why they've not actually taken him off behind the goal so we could actually get going in the game. He's walking all the way to this near touchline, and the referee Colin Stevens having to say, hang on, you're going to have to wait here. But he is coming off, and the Spear jersey is already in place, and they have to make sure the blood stops before any change of kit is made. Hibs trying to come down that right hand side. No goals here, no goals in Paisley, no goals in Falkirk. Those are the 3 matches in the top 2 tiers. As the ball gets ricocheted away, it goes behind. It is going to be a goal kick as Nicky Cadden continues to come round. Hibs having a little chat, just trying to look. He's certainly pinching his nose. I think he'll be all right, but Hibs just want to have a little look and make sure. And again, another couple of the physio staff comes across, arm round him, and they're looking at potentially going down the tunnel. He is going down the tunnel at the moment, so Hibs have a decision to make here. Alan Preston, do you stay with 10?
I'm just wondering if it's a stitch he needs, maybe just to stop the blood. The doctor maybe be down there, and we'll see what happens. But as I said, it's a coming together in the box. It's not a malicious challenge by the youngster. but he's taken one to the face.
This is where you can see as Motherwell, you think, can we capitalise? It's 11v10. Why not commit another man forward? Don't stay in the shape, the defensive shape you're in. Try and commit people forward when Hibs are depleted.
I think they're going to make a change, Hibs. I think his day's over, which will be a big blow, because I would arguably say that Nicky Cadden has been the one that's transformed Hibs' season. He's been magnificent for them.
Get down to Brian McLaughlin in a moment. Motherwell on the ball inside their own half, lift the ball forward. O'Hara is there. Jack Vale might beat him to it. He does so. Wins the header, takes the touch, tries to go on the outside. O'Hara though makes the challenge. The ball goes out of play. Brian McLaughlin, pitch side.
Yeah, the physio came running back up the pitch. David Gray asked him, do we need to make a change? He was told yes, and Jordan Abita was told to get stripped straight away, and it's Jordan Abita that's coming on for Nicky Cadden after just 19 minutes, Paul.
Thanks, Brian. That is disappointment for Nicky Cadden, but Jordan Abita comes on. Solid defensively, doesn't quite give you the same forward.
No, and not the same quality on his left foot with the delivery as Nicky Cadden.
So Nicky Cadden makes his way into the Hibs dressing room, and he'll be seen to in there. We obviously wish him well. And Bushiri will gather, play the ball out wide onto O'Hara. No goals so far. Chris Cadden plays the ball back, launched forward. There's an opportunity for Gale. Gale trying to come in.
Well, the 1-2's played there, and Wilson wipes out Cadden, who then wipes out the fourth official.
That's allowed, isn't it? Grant Irvin, the man going to ground. Well, we can just call Chris Cadden now, because there's only one of them out there. As the ball comes back to Cadden. Cadden takes the touch, plays it on the inside. Ardale stepped inside, plays the short pass on to Dylan Levitt. Levitt onto O'Hara. O'Hara, Hibs trying to push forward midway inside the Motherwell half. Triantis being pushed back by Watt, just to play the ball back onto Ardale. Ardale, first touch for Obita, round the corner it comes. Martin Boyle wins it. Boyle takes the touch, tries to get away from Kai Andrews, then runs into Jack Vale. Vale sends him to the ground. Vale still has it. Boyle is still on the ground, but Motherwell coming forward. Here's Tony Watt. Tony Watt almost rugby tackled by Josh Campbell, and the referee brings things to a halt as Martin Boyle is down and he sits himself back up.
Yeah, again, I think that's a coming together with the two players. It's not a foul for me.
I think Martin Boyle overruns the ball, does he?
Yeah.
And Jack Vale plants his body, uses him to bounce off and drives on with the ball. But it's amazing he stays down, and then as soon as the referee blows the whistle, he sits up. So whatever's happened. Hopefully he's not a nose issue like what Nicky Cadden had, but certainly Motherwell had the ball and were in the ascendancy.
I think it's more of a burst lip more than anything else. I don't think it's his nose this time.
Well, nothing quite like variety if you're a physio. So Hibs certainly seeing blood here this afternoon. That's the second injury they've had. They'll have to check to see if another spare jersey is going to be required, but it certainly worked for the Hibs physio team.
Well, I tell you now, Paulie, we'd rather do cuts to the lips and nose than calves, hamstrings or thighs.
Yeah, little elbow to the cheek there as well, but Martin Boyle is up and okay once more, and he'll have to go off the field of play, and that's where the Hibs captain is going, followed by the physio. And the bounce ball is going to come, so there's going to be a bit of negotiation here, but I think Motherwell will say that they were in possession, and Hibs basically will cede the bounce ball. And just being asked to stand back is Dwight Gale. At the moment, it's been a winner in the last 3 meetings of these two teams, but we wait for the opening goal. So far 0-0. 21.5 minutes played. Ewan Wilson has the ball. No goals in Paisley. Sydenham against Dundee United. Tomorrow afternoon we'll bring you Aberdeen against Hearts and Rangers against St Johnstone. Here's the opportunity now for Tom Sparrow. Sparrow plays it out wide onto Ewan Wilson. Wilson hooks it back to the halfway line. Martin Boyle wants to come back on. The referee appears to have forgotten all about him.
Yeah, I think he has.
McGinn will play the ball through. Here's the opportunity. No chance on the overlap. O'Donnell tries to bring it in. It's Bushiri who gets it away. It comes back to O'Donnell. Hibs are still not allowed to bring a player on because the ball's in that area of the field. Here's Halliday. Andy Halliday into the middle. Rocky Bushiri hooks the ball away. It's down the middle. Dwight Gale goes in again. The referee's not allowing. That was a handball against, well, looked to be against Campbell. And the referee's not given it. And Martin Boyle is reaching on the far side with Andy Milne, the assistant referee, and eventually Martin Boyle comes on.
Yeah, it's a little bit off the ball there as well.
I think it was O'Hara.
O'Hara, yeah.
And Tom Sparrow.
Just threw him right out the way.
just one of these things when players are getting a little bit niggled, Stephen. You know, Hibs wanted their captain back on the field of play. Motherwell had 2 good chances to get the ball in the box.
They had indeed. It's a terrific ball. I think it was Paul McGinn stepped forward and just played a delightful little ball into Stephen O'Donnell. He does well initially to get the ball under control. His final pass probably wasn't enough, but it just shows you if you slow build up, you're in a little bit of control. The quality of Paul McGinn can pick out the likes of Ewan Wilson, can pick out Stephen O'Donnell. They just need to do it more consistently.
So Hibs are back to full strength. Boyle tries to flick it on to Gale. Paul McGinn wins it. Turns, plays the ball back to his goalkeeper. Archie Mayer, just really one piece of work to do from a corner. That's been about it. The ball gets played forward up towards Watt, but a good header by O'Hara brings it down. Kai Andrews wins it again, goes looking for the ball, won it well, and then put himself into position, Alan, to try and receive the pass.
That's a lovely touch again from him. Young man started the game really well.
Here's Tony Watt. Watt plays the ball back to Andy Halliday. Halliday inside on to Paul McGinn. McGinn will send it out wide on to Tom Sparrow. His last start came in the loss at Tynecastle. Sparrow lays the ball back. Here's Blaney. Blaney on the inside their own half, looking to build again. No goals at Easter Road. McGinn sends it out wide, looking for Kai Andrews. Andrews will try and keep that in. He stretches, but he can't do so. The ball is out of play. Obita picks a ball up off a cone, uses that one, and throws the ball into Jack Arndale. Arndale will gather. Plays the ball across, and here's the opportunity for Bushiri inside his box to get Warren O'Hara moving. O'Hara missed the last couple of games, back to date. Launches it forward, looking for the run of Josh Campbell. Campbell sends it forward, bounces off him, and he can't keep the ball in. It's out of play. Remains 0-0, 24 minutes gone. Here are the thoughts of Alan Preston.
There's not been many chances in the game, Paul, really, and neither keepers had a save to make of any note. Motherwell just starting to slowly but surely come into the game. Hibs have had the better of it, more possession, but no real chances so far.
And I think when you make 6 changes in the team, or are forced to make 6 changes, then Stuart Kettlewell will be pleased how his team have settled, and it looks as if they're getting a bit more of control in the game.
Tom Sparrow over the halfway line, left-hand side. Did he keep the ball in? Yes, he did. Played the ball forward on towards Vale, but Arndale came across, won it, flicked it back to his goalkeeper. Now the goalkeeper with a meaningful save so far. Hibs unbeaten in the last 6 Scottish Premiership matches, won 4, drawn 2. Last went 7 without a loss back in March of 2023. As the ball gets played forward by Motherwell, Watt eased away by Bushiri. Bushiri knocks the ball onto Triantis. Watt felt he got played in the back.
He's got to do better than that, Tony Watt.
Slowly gets himself back to his feet. And the opportunity for Hibs to bring the ball forward. Campbell drops short on the halfway line. Plays it to Arndale. Dylan Levitt comes in, picks up, plays the ball out wide. Here's the opportunity for Cadden. Cadden back on the inside. On to O'Hara. O'Hara onto Josh Campbell. Campbell now opens up that left boot, tries to get it on the angle for a beater. Well read by Stephen O'Donnell. Header back to Archie Mayer. Stevie Frail and Stuart Kettlewell both out, gesturing to what they want from their side. David Gray turns, puts his hands in his pockets, and heads back for a seat in the dugout.
As Stephen said, I'm sure Stuart will be very, very happy with the way the game's going.
Ball on the angle, Levitt almost intercepted, but it falls to Campbell. Onto Arndale, now back onto Dylan Levitt, who makes a little move on that far side, plays the ball across. Triantis looks up, angle ball into the box onto Martin Boyle. Boyle has to drift outside the area, but cuts it back, and it's easily taken and nicely away by it. Well, I say nicely away by Andy Halliday. Should have played it nicely away, gives the ball away. Jordan Obita now up at the edge of the box. Obita going on the outside, tries the shot, deflected. Martin Boyle turns it in. The flag stays down.
It'll be tight.
The flag remains down, and Martin Boyle turns the ball into the back of the net. Hibs 1, Motherwell 0, and Martin Boyle pops up. Right time, right place to put Hibs ahead.
Yeah, it's hammered across, taking a slight deflection, and Boyle must be tight for offside.
On-field decision is goal. They will check Stephen Craigan, but it was a simple ball across.
Well, there's a couple of things wrong with the goal initially. Shane Blaney takes the ball off the goalkeeper and tries to switch it across the 18-yard box to Kofi Bammer. It gets cut out. Hibs attack. Motherwell win the ball back. Andy Halliday tries to roll the ball into the feet of Jack Vale when he spins in behind. Again, ball's turned over, and then suddenly Hibs are in the ascendancy. It's a strike. It's probably more of a cross actually from Jordan Obita, and Martin Boyle doing what he does best. He's alive, he's alert, he's proactive in the box. Does he come from an offside position? Who knows? But in the end, he puts the ball in the back of the net.
He's a man in form. He's the one that you want to fall to.
Well, it was certainly close. And the ball is on the centre circle, but it will be a factual decision from VAR headquarters. Don Robertson, Gary Hilland is the assistant, and as is the way for referees. Colin Stephen wondering about holding. Brian McLaughlin, pitch side, what did you make of it from your angle, Brian?
I've had a look at it, I've had a look at one replay, and I think this is just offside. I don't think this goal will stand. It's very, very close ball, but just looking at it the first time, wow.
Well, check complete, goal is given, Hibs lead by 1-0.
I would go with Brian's opinion. I think he's offside. We can't see it clearly from here, but listen, the lines are drawn in. You're right, it's a factual decision, he's onside, but it's really sloppy play from Motherwell on 2 occasions.
It's tight, very tight, but good on Boyle. He's in the right place at the right time, knocking the ball into the back of the net. He's on some run of form at the moment.
And for Hibs, they hadn't really tested the goalkeeper very much.
No, they've not. I mean, Archie Mears not had a save to make. He's no chance with that goal there either.
Well, it's all about the response now for Motherwell. The ball, they came forward down that right hand side. The ball out of play. It's going to be a long throw into the area. Shane Blaney is up. Paul McGinn, Jack Vale, Tony Watt, the 4 players in the box wearing the steel grey. Bushiri heads the ball away, comes back onto O'Donnell. O'Donnell has it, tries to flick it over on that far side, gets it back again. O'Donnell brings the ball down. Halliday will send it back on to Kai Andrews, and Andrews on the halfway line has to jab the ball back to Wilson, being chased by Martin Boyle all the way back onto Archie Mayer. Ewan Wilson's overrun it, and here comes Hibs. Nectarius Triantis is into the box, he's still going, he's going to try the shot. Oh, brilliant goal! Sent it right into the corner of the net. The goalkeeper could do nothing about it. Well, if there was doubt about the first goal, there's no doubt about the second. Hibs 2, Motherwell 0.
That's a brilliant finish from Triantis, it really is, but it's all down to Motherwell's own downfall again. Mayer plays it to Wilson. Look, why he doesn't take a touch, why he opens his body up when he doesn't know what's behind him, I don't know. The ball gets away from him, and it's a wonderful finish from Triantis, giving the keeper absolutely no chance. I don't know what Wilson's doing. Genuinely, for a young fullback, you've got to take a touch when you don't know what's behind you. You can't open up your body when you don't know Triantis is there. Triantis takes the ball off him, runs through, and it's a fine finish off the post.
I think the one thing that stands out for me from Ewan Wilson, he has to be wider. When the ball goes back to the goalkeeper, come and stand on the touchline so the ball doesn't have to run through. You can get a better look at it. I spoke earlier about him being physically looking tired on Wednesday night. I think mentally he looks tired as well. That's a really poor choice. His form hasn't been great in the last few games. It's an individual error. He's going to have to lick his wounds and get on with it. He's had a tough opening to the game, but once again Motherwell shoot themselves in the foot, and I think already it looks a long way back.
Well, Hibs push their way forward, leading by 2-0. Motherwell haven't scored in any of the last 3 away Scottish Premiership matches at Celtic, Hearts or Kilmarnock. Somehow need to find 2 goals to draw level, but it's another long ball forward. Boyle is in there, he's up against Blaney. Blaney does well inside his own area, stretched across. Paul McGinn is injured, he's gone down on his haunches. The ball's gone behind for a corner. More trouble coming for Motherwell. Paul McGinn looks in a little bit of distress at the moment. He's down and he sits down eventually, but he looks very unhappy. Hibs will have a corner, but the physio will come on. I think a change is going to be made right away.
Yeah, I think he's a bit, I don't know, I think he's a bit groggy possibly as well. But Motherwell have got to watch. This game could get away from them. Boyle was almost through there. Blaney manages to recover. If Hibs get a third before half-time, it's a long, long way back, and it could be anything, because Motherwell, like Stephen said, again, they look very leggy. Wilson especially, really struggling in the left wing-back area.
I would think this is a recurrence of an injury Paul McGinn's had. He's just back after a long spell out, and I think the team have missed him. I think he's made a difference with regards to build-up, play and the control of the game. However, the fact that he's put his hands in his head and he sat down immediately tells you he knows whatever he's just come back from is probably gone again.
Brian McLaughlin, pitch side.
Yeah, Dan Casey is going to be coming on immediately. Paul McGinn went down. Stuart Kettlewell turned to the bench and told Casey to get himself ready. Very sad for Paul McGinn. He's had so many problems with injury this season, and it looks like this is another one.
Thanks, Brian.
He looks distraught. McGinn looked absolutely distraught.
Well, Paul McGinn's last start was the win against Hibs at Easter Road here in October, but he knew immediately he's walking off, hands on his head. He looks as disconsolate as a player can look, and he knows that there's an issue, and you just got to feel for him. He'll get warm applause, the former Hibs player, and Dan Casey, who's got the headband on, gets ready to come on. And Paul McGinn, you could see the anguish in his face. A little hug from Stuart Kettlewell, and he'll head down the tunnel. In an afternoon that started, Stephen Craigan brightly for Motherwell is looking pretty dull now.
And they're going to get themselves to blame. If you're not going to play the right passes out of defence, you're going to take risks, you're going to gamble on things, you're going to put yourself under pressure against the Hibs team who are really on the front foot.
Corner will come in from Boyle, flicked on by Gale. It's high in there. Bushiri tries to get there, down to Gale, gets it away. Triantis, and the post closed down by Mayer. Sends the shot wide, but Archie Mayer was scrambling across to try and cut out the shot at the post. The ball goes behind, and Motherwell survive. 2-0 Hibs.
Yeah, Ken, it's a little flick on by Gale, and then it's a shot into the ground. It's going wide, but Triantis is on at the back post, and Archie Mayer scrambling across, makes himself big, and he smashes it over the top of the bar. Hibs have got to be careful. Motherwell have got to be careful here. Can they get in 2-0? I think so far the way this is going, that would be a result for them, because they seem to have just lost their way completely since that second goal's gone in.
Motherwell won here in October by 2 goals to 1. Hibs were one of the best results of the season. The 3-0 win at Fir Park. Hoylett, Kucheravi and Campbell, the 3 goal scorers on that occasion. Hibs were 2 up in 38 minutes. They're 2 up in the half hour here at Easter Road. And the goals coming from Boyle, from Nectarius Triantis, who got on the score sheet. It was a lovely shot, lovely driven shot for his second of the season, his first coming against Kilmarnock. Ball is out of play on the near side. No goals. St Mirren and Dundee United, no goals in the championship between Falkirk and Queen's Park. As Hibs come forward, Martin Boyle outside the area, blocked that time by Balmer. The ball comes back, and it's with Blaney. Blaney plays the short pass, gets it on to Sparrow. Sparrow couldn't keep it in. The ball is out of play, and the flag is up. And now the official says it's a Motherwell throw. And Scottish League 1, Alloa Athletic 0, Queen of the South 1. And in League 2, East Fife and Clyde 0-0. Edinburgh City are trailing at home to Peterhead by 1-0. And no goals between Forfar Athletic and Elgin. Keeps you up to date with all the action earlier on today. We brought you all the commentary from Ross County against Celtic. Celtic winning by 4 goals to 1, but not as easy as that scoreline might suggest. There's the opportunity for Stephen O'Donnell to play the ball back on to Dan Casey. Casey on the inside. Now the right-footed ball from Archie Mayer up towards Tony Watt. Watt loses out to Ardale, and it's still a Levitt who picks up. Gallows just at the edge of the centre circle, turns and lays the ball back. And now Alan Preston and Hibs can just take their time to build up from the back. The 2 goals to the good.
Yeah, they will. Levitt's hardly been in the game. Campbell, Triantis, and the ones in the middle of the park that have imposed themselves. We've seen Cadden. Both Caddens actually are beaters taking part in the goal. We've not really seen Levitt at all in this match so far. We'll be hoping to try and get more of the ball to him.
Levitt lifts it forward. He was looking for Campbell. Ball just to the edge of the area, and it's just thumped clear by Kofi Balmer, who looks back at his goalkeeper. But as Stephen Craigan outlined earlier, goalkeeper just sometimes stay in your line and just let the centre halves do the work.
Yeah, that's the key. You know, that's why they're playing defence, you're playing in goal. You look after your part and allow them to look after theirs.
Dan Casey gets in ahead of Boyle, wins the ball 25 yards from his own goal. Motherwell starting to build. Here's Tom Sparrow, looks on the outside of him. It's Ewan Wilson. Wilson gathers, plays the ball well. He tried to play it over the halfway line, but hits it off the back of Chris Cadden. Cadden plays the ball on the inside onto Josh Campbell. And Campbell gets it on to Boyle. Boyle, a couple of goals recently, 3 in his last 5. Got the goals against Rangers, of course, and now scores again on home soil as the ball gets played out wide on that far side. Here's the chance for Obita, who'd gone on the inside, trying to get it back from Levitt, but Levitt couldn't find him. But Motherwell again don't link up well.
That's Tony Watt. He's got to do better. His team's under pressure. He's got to take a touch. It just miscontrols it. His team are under immense pressure.
I said ahead of the game that they average between 30 and 33, 34% possession per game, and you can see why. They don't retain the ball. The balls up to the centre forwards aren't good enough. The centre forwards always want to come towards the ball. Nobody spins in behind. So the game is so condensed that they can't make any play, and then they just have to go back to front, which is now happening.
Hibs currently on 57% possession. Here comes Motherwell. Kai Andrews, centre circle on that right side, flicks the ball on the inside onto Tony Watt. He'll get it on to Andy Halliday. Halliday has Wilson wide. Vale trying to drop short. Vale calling for it as the ball came back from Sparrow. But it's going to be back on the halfway line. And Casey is now on that right-hand side. It's Balmer in the middle and Blaney playing on the left of the three centre-halves. Forward it goes onto Vale, loses out to Bushiri, and the referee gives the free kick. In fact, the offside flag was up on that far side. Bushiri doing all that hard work. The flag was up anyway.
I think the thing for Stuart Kettlewell will be really disappointed is that Hibs haven't had to really work for their goals. There've been mistakes, and then that's the thing, you know. And Hibs at the moment, they're on top form, unbeaten in 6. Well, looks like unbeaten in 7, into the top 6 as well. They're going the right direction. They don't need a hand to score goals, but they've certainly got it today.
Well, since the 3-0 loss at Celtic Park, in which they played well on the 7th of December, they scored in all 6 matches. They've scored more than a single goal in 4 of those 6. That's now 5 of 7. Hibs starting to find the back of the net on a regular basis, and they will think, Stephen, that there's more goals to be had.
Absolutely, and there should be. You know, that you can tell by the players' body language. I was here when they lost 2-1 against Motherwell, and they were flat, and the atmosphere wasn't good, and they conceded poor goals. But today's completely different. They're bright, they're alert, they're moving the ball fast. They're not taking 5, 6, 7 touches, and they're trying to penetrate the opposition.
Trantis tries to find Gale, headed away by Balmer, taken down by O'Donnell. Here's Andrews. Andrews plays the ball up towards the halfway line to Sparrow, who comes back. Blaney all the way back to the man in red, Archie Mayer. Scotland under 17 to under 21 international player, plays it out wide on that far side, but O'Donnell couldn't get there under pressure from Abita, and the ball goes out of play.
At the moment, it's just waves of attack. Muller will get the ball, it goes back, Archie Mayer kicks it, Hibs get it and try and launch an attack again.
6 minutes to half time, and then there'll be additional time. There's a couple of instances of Hibs players requiring treatment. Nicky Cadden, who's off the field, and Martin Boyle, who managed to remain on the field. Forward it goes from O'Hora. O'Hora forward into Boyle, but Boyle fouled, took down Andy Halliday. Andy wanders across and kicks the ball into Andy Halliday as well. And if the Hibs fans want to see their skipper tackling anybody, it's Andy Halliday. Always a popular tackle round Easter Roadway. Andy Halliday gets himself back up. Motherwell trying to just keep in this game, try and find their way to half time, and that's why Shane Blaney's just taking his time. Didn't play in the last 2, started the previous 6, but he is taking his time, and he slips as he gets that ball away up towards Jack Vale, headed away by Warren O'Hora. O'Hora gets the ball forward, Cadden into Boyle, but Boyle gives the ball away onto Halliday, sends it down that left hand side, asking Vale to chase, and O'Hora is taking no chances, pops the ball into the stand.
Yeah, I think Stuart Kettlewell's got a couple of decisions to make at half time, because I think the 11 players he has on the pitch aren't going to turn the game around. He's got to do something himself, whether it's change of shape or change of personnel, because I don't see anyone in a Motherwell jersey who's going to grab the game with the scruff of the neck and make something happen.
No, they need to get the next goal, Stephen. It's as simple as that. If Hibs get it, game's done. You know, they've got to get it. But Hibs' weakest part of their team is defensively, and at the moment they've not been tested at all. It's been a breeze for them. Bashiri's been fine, O'Hora's in there, Iredale, it's been a breeze for them.
Motherwell yet to register a shot in the match so far. They're trailing by 2-0. Hibs have it inside their own area. Work for Jordan Smith, who'll play the ball out wide. O'Hora gets it forward. Triantis lets the ball run past, gets away from Blaney, and then Blaney takes him down. First yellow card of the afternoon. A little bit of frustration there from Shane Blaney.
It's not a nice challenge either. It's a yellow, easy yellow, but you know what, Triantis actually sees it coming in the end, but poor challenge. So, reckless challenge brings the yellow card, and more opportunities for Hibs to try and play the ball forward. And Motherwell just trying to get their way into half-time. They've won just one of the last 6 away matches in the Scottish Premiership. That was a late win against St Mirren. Tony Watt on the score sheet there. As Boyle hounded out of that by Tom Sparrow. The ball back inside the area. Balmer will play it across onto Archie Mayer. Mayer out wide to Stephen O'Donnell. O'Donnell flicks it into the middle. Triantis reads it, wins it, gets it on to Dwight Gale. Gale lays it back to him on the left hand side. Hibs 2 goals to the good. 3 minutes to half time. Ball played back once more. Iredale has a little look ahead. And now just the chip ball onto Rocky Bushiri. He's got a hood outside him, and that's where the ball will go. Played back onto Rocky Bushiri as 1 or 2 start to head for the exits for half time. Iredale plays it on to Dylan Levitt. Levitt clips it from left to right. Triantis brings the ball down, and Stephen Craig and Hibs are just enjoying knocking the ball about.
Yeah, well, it was a prime example. Stephen O'Donnell chipped the ball into the middle of the pitch, and the two Motherwell centre forwards left it, and Triantos got it and went and won it. So that shows you appetite, hunger, probably a little bit of confidence and belief. But yeah, Hibs are just cruising through the game, doing what they want, and Motherwell are far too passive.
Martin Boyle coming in from the right hand side, on to Triantos, scorer of Hibs' second goal. Boyle, the scorer of Hibs' first. Now the ball by Levitt, lifted into the middle. Bama, rather necessarily, I think, bumped Gale. Gale went down. The two players exchanged words. 5 additional minutes will be played. Not much in that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
More frustration from Bama, just yelled out at Dwight Gale. So 5 additional minutes will be played. You've still got 2 minutes of normal time. Here's the opportunity for Halliday. Halliday has to turn, get away from Campbell. Plays the ball back on to Kofi Balmer. Balmer plays it out wide on to Dan Casey. Casey to O'Donnell. Here comes Andy Halliday over the halfway line. Andrews is on the outside of him. That's where the ball goes. Andrews tries to step infield. Is it back on to O'Donnell? Opportunity for Sparrow to dig it out to the left hand side. On to Ewan Wilson, but it's back to the halfway line again from Blaney. They don't see a route through, Stephen.
No, I hate being critical of a young player, but the more I watch Ewan Wilson, the more his first thought is to play it back. As a wing back, get the ball forward. You watch Nicky Cadden or Chris Cadden, their first thought isn't to knock it back and just give the responsibility to someone else. It's to take it yourself and drive forward, go at someone, try and make something happen.
I've watched him a lot this season. I really like him. I think he's a terrific young player, but he looks very nervous. As you rightly said, he looks knackered as well. And that's a worry, because I used to play in that position, and if someone's got the better of you for pace, it's always a worry. If I got my distances right, can I close him down? Can I stop the ball at source? He needs to start thinking about his game.
Hibs leading by 2-0. No goals in Paisley, no goals in Falkirk. We'll get reports at half-time. 30 seconds of normal time, plus 5 additional minutes to be played here at Easter Road on a Saturday afternoon. Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
And I think the other thing as well, Stephen, is that Hibs have got Boyle, they've got Gale that'll go long. They'll go over the top. They'll run into corners. Vale and Watt won't do that.
Vale can actually do it. He's quite a strong runner, but for some reason he wants to keep coming short. And if he's coming short, Tony Watt has to recognise, well, he's going short, I'm going to spin in behind. But he doesn't. The minute one goes short, the other one just follows, which is so easy for Hibs to play against.
Here's Rocky Bushiri for Hibs, plays it out wide. Hora back on the inside, on to Bushiri. Bushiri just strolling his way up towards the centre circle, breaks into a gentle jog and plays the ball out wide. Back onto O'Hara, who has a look, steps away from Sparrow, plays the ball inside onto Triantos. Triantos easily away from Watt, and Hibs again just knocking the ball around, enjoying what they're doing at the moment.
It's easy for Hibs. There's more goals for them here if they go and try and impose themselves on Motherwell. Motherwell at the moment just look a team that are shot, absolutely shot to bits.
If you're David Gray, you're trying to urge and find that third goal before the break.
Without a doubt, I want more.
Let's see if they get it. Casey loses out to Gale, and the header on the inside onto Shane Blaney, the only player booked so far, up towards Jack Vale, who can't hold it in again. One thing Stephen Craigan's been talking about, you've got to try and give your defenders a chance to get set, but I can't remember the last time either Watt or Vale took the ball in and actually had it for a few seconds.
Which is criminal, because that's what you're in the team for as a centre forward. That if you're not going to run in behind you, you're going to come short. At least if you come short, get hold of the ball, don't just keep turning it over. But the game's poised in a way that both sides know the next goal and the game's dead. If Hibs get it, Hibs know if they get the third goal, it's done. And Motherwell know if Hibs get the third goal, it's done. So I would imagine Hibs will be the side doing the pushing and trying to break the resistance again.
Motherwell just look like they want to get in at the break.
I was at the game at Tynecastle, and this is a similar performance from Motherwell from that game at Tynecastle a couple of weeks back.
Well, Motherwell have been picking up points. They got that good win against Aberdeen. They got the draw on the road against Kilmarnock, so points have been coming for the side. Currently in 5th place, it's Hibs who are at 8th place. Currently 5 points between them. That gap will be 2 should things stay the way they are this afternoon. Boyle on the inside, plays it back to O'Hara. O'Hara all the way back on to Jordan Smith, who's been pretty much redundant so far in the game. Ardale will drop it forward onto Dylan Levitt. Levitt making his way back into the first team, just spraying the passes about, but he's just sitting in there as Bushiri gets the ball back once more onto Jordan Smith. Smith will gather, just takes a little step on the ball. He's level with the penalty spot just to the left hand side of it. The black boots, the black gloves against the blue kit as the ball gets played on the inside, and Hibs send it down that far side. Here's Dwight Gale, brings it down beautifully. It's going to take on Dan Casey. Dan Casey sticks an arm out, pushes him down, and we'll get a yellow card for it.
It's an easy yellow card. Once again, though, great play from Gale. Lovely touch, knocks it by him. Has he got to get on the end of it? 34, 35-year-old, not so sure, but takes him right out.
It's just too quick, isn't it? You know, again, we're speaking about the football brain. He knows where he is. Shane Blaney got booked because he was too keen to try and go and make contact with Triantis, and he moved the ball off his line. Dan Casey's too keen to get close to Dwight Gale. He moves the ball off its line, and they have to commit a foul. So it's probably naive defending, I would call it.
Motherwell trailing by 2-0. Just under 2 minutes of additional time to be played. Earlier on today, Ross County 1, Celtic 4. Hibs very comfortable so far. O'Hara lays the ball back onto Chris Cadden. Cadden sends it all the way across. Bushiri has it once more. And again, Hibs will build down the right hand side, pushed on inside by O'Hara. And there's Gale, tries to get Cadden away, but it's won by Balmer, sends it back to Archie Mayer, who scoops the ball high into the air. Josh Campbell flicks it back. It wasn't the control that he was looking for. It comes all the way back. Bushiri on to Smith. Hibs had failed to score in their opening home Scottish Premiership game this season against Celtic, and they scored in the last 11, and they lead by 2-0 here. And it's a very comfortable afternoon so far, but can Motherwell get into the break, make some changes, and perhaps cause problems in the second half? The ball is back with Blaney inside his own half, inside the last minute of the recommended stoppage time. Kofi Balmer, 24-year-old Northern Ireland player, steps up, sends it into Tony Watt. Watt just gifts the ball away. Terrible play from Tony Watt. Here comes Motherwell again. They've won it. That's better from Watt to get it out wide. Onto O'Donnell. He makes the run forward. It comes back into Kai Andrews. Andrews now gets the touch. Drops it into Andy Halliday. Halliday closed down by Dwight Gale, and now Hibs can move. Rapier like. Here comes Boyle. He's got Campbell one side, Gale the other. Tried to play it on the inside. Flicked off the heel of Kofi Balmer. And again, just causing their own problems.
They are again. It's Halliday dilly-dallying on the ball. It's taken off him. It's not a foul. Far from it. And Boyle just picks the wrong choice.
Half-time whistle at Easter Road, and the Motherwell players make their way, slightly disconsolate, to the changing rooms. It's Hibs with a spring in their steps. Goals from Martin Boyle and Nectarius Triantis have Hibs comfortable so far. Half-time at Easter Road. Hibs 2, Motherwell 0.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sports Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and on BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
I think that's one of the most beautiful songs.
Ever feel like you just missed out on something amazing? With BBC Sounds, you can ask most smart speakers to rewind what you're listening to. Just say, ask BBC Sounds to rewind 5 minutes.
It's another country here with Mira Heroes. We have many, many harmonies on the show tonight, but this is beautiful.
So you never miss a thing again. Get more from your smart speaker with BBC Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We kicked off at midday today, a 12:30 start in Dingwall. Ross County 1, Celtic 4. We also brought you the news live in the programme at 1:30 that Rangers are sticking with their manager Philippe Clement. Patrick Stewart, the new CEO, said that in a briefing this morning. He also said there would not be much activity in the transfer market this month, and there will be a full review of the football structure at the club. So plenty more to come on that later in the programme. We're with you right through until 7 o'clock this evening. We'll get back to our guys at Easter Road for more in-depth analysis of what we watched there in the first half. You'd have to say Motherwell really, really poor. Hibs very, very good. They're on a great run. But let's get to the other top-flight game that kicked off at 3 o'clock. St Mirren at home to Dundee United there for us. Leanne Crichton.
Yeah, thanks Kenny. It's St Mirren 0, Dundee United 0 at half-time. A scrappy encounter here in Paisley, I would need to say. Neither side producing anything close to the form that's brought them many plaudits this season. Slack pass after slack pass, that was the only real consistent theme in the opening 45 minutes. The best of the chances did come early in the game. Right enough, 4 minutes was on the clock. Richard Taylor thought he'd broken the deadlock for the hosts as he rose tallest to bullet home and in swinging Scott Tanser corner, but somehow Lucas Stevenson got himself back on the line and managed to clear it with a strong header. 15 minutes was on the clock and it was United this time that had the chance. It was Kevin Holt just outside the box. He took a shot. It was a defensive clearance actually, and he took the shot just in the half volley, but it landed comfortably in the arms of Zach Hemming in the Saints goal. Both managers rung the changes before today's game. Jim Goodwin's reasoning was down to the midweek efforts of his players. He insisted that the 11 players to start the game wouldn't be the 11 to finish, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Arabs ringing the changes sooner rather than later. St Mirren certainly had the best chance of the half, as I mentioned, but not near enough quality shown if they have any hopes of bringing a halt to this winless run of games. Half-time in Paisley, St Mirren 0, Dundee United 0.
Yeah, thanks to Leanne Clayton. Very disappointing game. They've just seen some highlights of the first half from the game at Easter Road. Stuart Kettlewell furious, you'd have to say, down on the touch line there. Very poor from Motherwell. We'll get the guys' thoughts in just a minute's time. One game survived in the Championship today. The leaders Falkirk at home to Queen's Park, and there for us, Chick Young.
Had you joined me just 20 seconds earlier, Kenny, you would have heard the biggest roar of the afternoon, and it's for a gentleman who's just won £500 on the crossbar challenge at half-time here at Falkirk Stadium. I'll maybe give you the route I'm taking with my match report of the first 45 minutes. It's Falkirk 0, Queen's Park 0. Some of the football from the Bairns actually has been very sweet indeed. They do move the ball swiftly with pace, nice angles, but they've only really created 2 opportunities for all the possession, all the pressure they've had. There was a great shot from Keelan Adams early in the game, but what a save it was from Callum Ferry in the Queen's Park goal. Touched that one over the crossbar. The next effort to be close enough to be worthy of a report was from Calvin Miller. Little jinking run and a shot, but had an angle on it from my position in the main stand here, and I could see it was just going beyond the far post. So Falkirk with, I would think, most of the possession, most of the football. They do pass the ball very, very well indeed, but Queen's Park have given them no threat at the end. Zach Rudden has looked like a shadow of the player he once was, and Queen's Park haven't really threatened Nicky Hogarth in the Falkirk goal. For all that, remember, Falkirk are trying to extend the lead at the top of the table to 7 points by winning here this afternoon. At the moment, Queen's Park are hanging on to their coattails, trying to get themselves into one of the playoff places. Surely a goal has to come. I'm a forecast that kind of thing has not been good over the last couple of weeks, I have to say. But Falkirk at the moment are drawing with Queen's Park 0-0 at Falkirk Stadium.
Thank you to Chick Young. In League 1, Alloa 0, Queen of the South 1, Cove Rangers against Montrose, Dumbarton against Arbroath, both games postponed. 5:30 start, Kelty Hearts at home to Stenhouse Muir. And in League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose against Stranraer, that was postponed. East Fife 0, Clyde 0, Edinburgh City 0, Peterhead 1, Edinburgh City down to 10 men. Forfar 0, Elgin City 0, Stirling Albion against Spartans also postponed. Let's then get back to our commentary match at Easter Road. Alan Preston, we spoke before the game about the turnaround in fortunes for Hibs in recent weeks. Very, very impressive in that first half.
They have been, Kenny, they've dominated the game against a poor Motherwell side. They've not really had to work for their goals. Hibs have been gifted them really, but the man in form at the moment, Martin Boyle, taps one in, and then Triantis with a wonderful drive across the young keeper into the back of the net. Hibs are on easy street. I can see them add into that in the second half. Motherwell look very, very leggy, very tired, void of ideas, nothing really much up front to get them up the park. And I can see Hibs adding to it, I really can. And it'll be an easy win for David Gray's men into the top 6 and going the right way. And the way this league is this year, Hibs, where they were early on in the season, bottom of the pile, they could end up finishing third. The way this is going, honestly, Hibs are on a great run of form, and David Gray and his men will be hoping that this continues. But it's been a dominating 45 minutes without having Archie Mair making save after save after save. Hibs have had all the possession. Motherwell have had nothing going forward at all, and Hibs are comfortable, very comfortable for their 2-0 lead.
Yeah, very, very good in that first half. Stephen, you touched before the game on the lack of possession in recent matches for Motherwell. That's been highlighted in the first half. 37% possession, no shots. They've been dreadful this afternoon, haven't they?
They have been, but if you look back at the performance away at Tynecastle, I think in the 2nd of January, and you look at the performance on Wednesday night, I think getting the point on Wednesday night, against Kilmarnock covered up how poor they actually were. Of course, there's a positive, yeah, we get a point, that's great, but the feeling was they would have to play an awful lot better today than what they did on Wednesday night. and they haven't even got close to Wednesday night's performance. That's how poor they've been tonight.
Yeah.
Hibs haven't had to be great, Kenny. It's just Motherwell have been that poor. They continue to turn the ball up. If you're going to be a side that averages around about anything between 30 and 37% possession, you've either got to be watertight at the back, which they're not, or you've got to be really good in the counter-attack, which they're not. So I'm sitting watching this afternoon thinking, what is it you're trying to do? What's your game plan and how are you going to go about it? Whether that's the players not carrying Stuart's tactics out, which will be hugely frustrating, or whether Stuart hasn't set them up properly. That's an observation, that's not a criticism, it's just an observation. I'm sitting watching the game, I'm thinking, what are you trying to do? Where are you trying to get the ball to? Who's going to be the key player that's going to open up the opposition? What's your threats? And they haven't got anything at all. And they've just drifted through moments in that game. They've been passive. I think they've been really, really poor in so many departments. They've given up really poor, cheap goals. I think Marvin Coletta and Tawanda Maswanisi are going in at half-time. They were called over by David Clarkson, so something's going to change. Young Ewan Wilson, I would have taken him off halfway through the first half. He was having a tough game against Chris Cadden, so you've got to make tough calls irrespective of age. You've got to do what you think is right as a manager at that time. So he may do it at half-time, but it's a long, long way back.
Craigs, what would you do now?
Well, I would take off. I'm guessing Stuart will be thinking we can't afford to lose 5 or 6. So I would imagine he'll move Stephen O'Donnell, the left wing back, or Marvin Coletta, the left wing back. He'll put Tawanda Maswanisi, I'd imagine, up beside Tony Water-Jack Vale, and hope that somebody can do something, because, I mean, Sam Nicholson's there, who's been back for 5 or 6 weeks. Surely he must be a bit of a threat going forward that can cause a few problems. Out with that, there's not really an awful lot, Michael. I would change the shape of their back 4, because the back 3 is not working. It's causing them all sorts of problems. They're giving the ball away cheaply. They've got 3 players in midfield. Someone has to take responsibility and try and take ownership of the game. They're not. More often than not, if you watch Motherwell, it goes from centre forward, centre midfield, wing back, full back, goalkeeper, lump up the pitch.
I just find it incredible that Maswanisi's not starting the game.
He's been so good this season, hasn't he? A real
Michael,
threat.
he was done on Wednesday night. He was treading water.
Right.
On Wednesday
and I
night.
think that was just to try and give him, I would imagine, 45 minutes, 60 minutes off today, bring him on with half an hour to go with the game still alive. But he's been chasing. I mean, if you're centre forward playing in a team that has no possession, all you do is press and try and win the ball back, and you're just wasting energy. And I think that's what he's done an awful lot of. However, at home, it's slightly different. They're a bit more competitive. But I agree, it's disappointing he wasn't playing, but I have to say, he looked absolutely done on Wednesday
But Stephen, they're not pressing the game. They can't press the game. Triantis, Levitt, Campbell, it's been so easy for them. They just popped it around them. Halliday's not up. They're not up against them. They're playing against absolutely nothing. And when it goes up to Watt and up to Vale, they're not retaining the ball enough, which allows the midfield to get up, defence to get up. This is as bad a performance for Motherwell as I've seen since the Hearts game, because against Heart, although they could have got a draw at the end for a couple of great saves from Craig Gordon. Kettlewell's very, very honest after that game at Tynecastle, and I would imagine he'll be equally honest if this doesn't improve in the second half.
The good thing for Hibs is that David Gray was talking to Brian McLaughlin beforehand. He's made a couple of changes. The performance level's not dropped. Nicky Cadden's gone off injured, and I did think to myself at that point, could that derail, because he's been the catalyst for a lot of the good play. But no, Triantis is continuing his good form. Martin Boyle's continuing his good form at the top end of the park. And look, I hear Alan talking about third place for Hibs. That would be the most incredible turnaround within a season I think anybody could envisage.
Yeah.
I don't think the hierarchy at Hibs will be fooled into thinking that they've solved the problems. It's going to take some good additions to the team. Even though, having said all that, the work that's been done by David Gray and his coaching staff is quite incredible. I did not see this turnaround happening with that squad of players.
6 points behind Dundee United in third, as things stand.
They're
incredible.
One defeat in 9, and that was away at Celtic. And if they, obviously, it looks like they'll not lose this. Not cursing them here, but it would be a huge turnaround if they did. That's 1 defeat in 10. And that game, 3-3 against Aberdeen at home with an injury time equaliser for Rocky Bashiri, it has been the turning point.
Yeah, and he's referred to that, David Gray. Let's talk then a bit about United. Leanne just kicked off in the second half in Paisley. You were saying a very disappointing game there so far.
Yeah, I mean, disappointing, Kenny, because you look at the form of Dundee United in regard to the league position. I know it's a shift at this stage of the season. I get it, the festive period, the cluster of games, it's a big ask from any group. But both sides this afternoon really disappointing in terms of the quality in the final third, and so many turnovers, slack passes, horizontal passes, just almost nullifying one another with just a real lack of quality. There's been a few flash points and moments certainly inside the penalty areas, two physical sides going at it. So I mean, if there's going to be a breakthrough in the game, I would most likely expect it to come off a set piece, which Dundee United have got the first corner of the second half just as we speak just now.
Michael, what are your thoughts on Dundee United? As we've been saying, off their flyer, third spot as things stand.
Goal.
Oh, there we are. There we are. Take away, Leanne.
The flag's going up offside at the back post. Not sure who it is that stabbed it home, but certainly it's going to be tight. I do think it might just be the right call. It came for the corner. It was almost a short work delivery, whipped in at the back area. I think it's Glenn Middleton perhaps that gets the final touch on it, who stabs it home.
Yeah. Michael's going to get the replay in here, Leanne. We're just going to get a wee look. It did look very tight.
It's Chevelle, it's at the back post that taps it in. I've not seen the replay yet.
But is it? I thought it was.
Yeah, here we go now.
Here's a better angle of it with a short free kick, a short corner. He's round the back. Oh, it's very, very tight. Obviously, it's just, he's not offside with the initial cross, but there's that flick on in the middle.
Yeah.
And just, first of all, I need to make sure that it's definitely a Dundee United player that does flick it on, and then second of all, that he is definitely offside.
Yeah, decision made. Goal disallowed, offside.
Yeah, well, fair play, that's quite a quick decision, wasn't it?
Well,
a bit shocked, Michael, that it was so quick.
I can't believe that they've been able to look at that and definitively say that that is offside as quickly as that. I've got to say, I am incredibly surprised at that.
Yeah, well,
it did seem pretty tight, I wouldn't say, Michael. Just it was that kind of late run at the back post. I wouldn't say there was players in there standing as the ball was arriving, and if you're mentioning the kind of flick on as well.
No, but it's the flick here.
We are here.
That's still, like, I can't believe I'm astonished that that's been, like, made so quickly. He's at least 2 yards onside when the ball was initially played into the box. As I said, it's the flick on, and even then, it's so tight.
Do you know what? What we know is that the management teams, they have that video analysis right with them on the touchline there. So Jim Goodwin, by the time it comes to post-match, he'll have had a good look at that. You know, we trust that that's the correct decision to be made. It's been made very, very quickly, as Michael has said there, and that was potentially an excellent start to the second half at Paisley for the away side, but it is goalless as things stand there. Let's get back to our commentary match at Easter Road. Brian McLaughlin, a couple of changes there?
Yeah, I think a couple of changes, and you can predict it. Certainly Marvin Coletta's coming on. This is Tawanda Maswanisi, the players being replaced. Ewan Wilson and Andy Halliday.
Thank you to Brian McLaughlin. Let's then get back to our commentary team. It's Hibs against Motherwell with Alan Preston, Stephen Craigan and Paul Mitchell.
Thanks, Kenny. No great surprises. We expected changes to come at half-time. It'll be interesting, Stephen Craigan, to see if there is a change of shape that will come with it. But that's when he say, you know, it's been a key player. Let's see what energy he has, and can that make the difference for Motherwell today?
Well, it has to. I think they've been heavily reliant on him, Paul, in certain games. He's been the bright spark. I just wonder, is it a 3-4-3 they're going to go to? It's a very young midfield then with Tom Sparrow and Kai Andrews, because it looks as if it is going to be a front three of Tony Watt, Tawanda Maswanisi and Jack Bale.
So underway at the start of the second half. Referee Colin Stephen has indicated there is offside. From Hibs' perspective, Alan Preston, they'll know that Motherwell will come out early and try and get themselves right back into the game. Just try and contain them.
That's it. Just make sure, don't give them any chances. Don't take any chances yourself. Early on in the game, Bashiri's a couple of Cruyff turns. We'll be cutting that out straight away anyway. Don't give them any encouragement at all. The game's done. To come out with the clean sheet. It's as simple as that. And that has to be what David Gray was saying to his players at half-time. Can we get more goals? Great if we can. Do not give them a goal.
Here's the opportunity for Kai Andrews to bring the ball away. Andrews plays it out wide. It's a back three of Casey, Balmer and Blaine. It's Hibs that won the ball coming forward. Here's the opportunity. Triantis brilliantly away from Sparrow, plays it out wide to Boyle. Two goal scorers combined into the middle. Obita heads it, and then the header will be offside. Josh Campbell clearly offside. There'll be no need to review that one. Obita, if he'd scored, different story, but Campbell certainly looked offside. The header from Obita wide, and Campbell headed it into the net.
Well, it just shows you the counter-attacking ability that Hibs have. They turn the ball over in midfield. Stephen O'Donnell's messing about with the ball, loses possession, it turns over, and then the pace, the running power of Boyle getting themselves forward, Cadden getting forward, Dwight Gill getting forward, and unfortunately for Hibs it's offside. Very fortunate for Motherwell.
But again, it's a mistake. Stephen O'Donnell this time.
And of course Hibs committing the cardinal error of interrupting the commentator while he's trying to give the team lineups. Very rude. As the ball comes in from Tony Watt, Vale and Mashonese are now the forward players. Coletta, Sparrow, Andrews and O'Donnell, the midfield quartet. But Hibs leading by 2-0. And Motherwell get away with one there. There's the opportunity for Andrews to play it forward. Comes all the way back and it's picked up by Tom Sparrow. Andrews now starting on far side. As Mashonese is calling for the ball down below us. But it's going to be Sparrow who brings it and plays the ball back. Almost the worst possible start for Motherwell.
Almost, but at least Stuart Now's having a go playing 3 up front, but he needs a lot from them. And it might put the Hibs defence under a bit of pressure because they were under none at all in that opening period.
Ball sent down the side, Mashonese can't get there, it's just eased out of play. And it is going to be a goal kick. When you've got the front 3, Stephen, you're playing in the back 3, what's the thoughts?
You mean as a Hibs perspective?
From the Motherwell perspective to start. How do you defend the 3?
Well, defending the 3, just making sure one of your wing backs is sucked in. You don't want to be 5 against 3. You want to try and be 4 against 3, worst case scenario. But I think the 3 Hibs central defenders are quite confident defending 1v1, which means then Hibs can push forward and try and pick off Motherwell somewhere else. But we've been in this game long enough. As dominant as Hibs have been and as poor as Motherwell have been, one goal for the visitors and suddenly things can change. The atmosphere changes in the stadium, the body language of the Hibs players changes, the body language of the Motherwell players changes, and suddenly the game can swing 360 degrees. Although, I have to say, at this stage, it doesn't look likely.
Opportunity now for Hibs, who have got Jordan Smith in goal, the back 3 of O'Hora, Bushiri, Ardale. It's Jonathan Obita and Chris Cadd, the 2 wide players, Triantis and Levitt, Josh Campbell, the midfield trio, Saboni, Martin Boyle, and Dwight Gale up front, 2-0. Hibs currently leading at Easter Road, and the ball thrown down the side, headed out by Tom Sparrow, and it's going to be a throw-in to Hibs. Coming from right to left, the traditional green and white jerseys, white shorts, white socks, up against Motherwell, and what is called steel grey, with the tartan Motherwell trim. Not brought them much luck so far this afternoon. They trail by 2-0. Obita throws the ball into Campbell. Campbell plays it way behind Levitt. Vale should have done better to win that ball, but it's played out wide by Hibs, and it's gathered by Cadden. Cadden plays it down to Boyle. Boyle is up against Blaney. Blaney knocks the ball out of play, and the opportunity for the throw to come on that far side for Hibs. Hibs winning by 2 still. Last 6 games, 14 points Hibs have taken. They took 12 points from the first 16 games of the season, so the turnaround, as Michael Stewart was talking about at half-time, has been very, very impressive. Here's Bushiri. Bushiri plays the ball inside his own half to Ardale. Ardale plays it down to Dwight Gale, who chips it over the head of Casey. Campbell tries to chase. Balmer came in there. Casey gets it down on his chest and just thumps the ball high in the air. Bushiri watching it all the way, wins the header and gets it down onto Dylan Levitt. He's going to lose out to Vale, but then he wins the ball back from Vale, and Hibs continue to have the ball at the back through Rocky Bushiri. Bushiri out onto Ardale. Ardale gathered, but he just passes the ball straight away to Stephen O'Donnell. O'Donnell sends it down the side. Mashonese has a little look, tries to chip the ball into the middle. Tony Watt with a header, and there's exactly what Stephen Craigan was talking about. Alan Preston, one little chance out of nowhere. That could have been a goal pulled back.
That's it, really good ball into the box. Mas was seeing it there, and then it's Tony Watt on the end of it. He can't get great direction on his header over the top of the bar, but a slight glimpse at goal for Motherwell. They've got to try and build on that if they can, but again, we're just talking about it, it's from a Hibs mistake. They've just given the ball away needlessly. There's no need for them to give the ball away there.
Long ball forward. Casey steps in, tries to get ahead of Josh Campbell. Campbell tries to block on the ball, spirals high in the air. Andrews just sees it come off his right boot, goes out of play. It's a throw in. The opportunity for Hibs to continue to come and attack the goal to our left hand side as we watch from the main stand at Easter Road. Levitt plays it through. Campbell almost returned it onto Boyle, just a bit hefty with the back heel, and it's cleared up towards the halfway line. Mashonese tries to gather, does so. A shout for handball, and the referee spots it. Alan Preston had spotted it, so I was fairly confident Colin Stephen, who's a few feet away, would see it.
Yeah, easy decision for the referee. He's right on the spot.
Long ball on the angle. Gale loses out. Casey heads the ball away, and it's touched away again just before Josh Campbell could come in there. Josh Campbell's another player that's all of a sudden found form for Hibs as Motherwell try the ambitious down the right hand side, but Abita gets there ahead of O'Donnell. He's going to race at Sparrow. He's going on the outside, tries to get the cross in, decent ball, takes one bounce and goes into the arms of Archie Mair.
It's a better game, I have to say, only because Motherwell are committing a few more men forward, and when Hibs turn it over, there's a lot more space for them to go and work in. Just back to the chance for Tony Watt, and nothing against Tony, he's a lovely guy, but I'm never convinced he's going to score. You just look throughout his career, he's never been someone who gets 10, 12 goals a season. I think he's got one at Motherwell. He does some good build-up play, some good work, but that final touch as a centre-forward, Paul, you're judged on goals.
Well, there was a problem. 1 goal in 18. He got 19 in 70 appearances previously for Motherwell. So very quickly adding that up, that's 20 and 88. Jack Vale has got 3 goals in 19 appearances, so neither free scorers, but can they get into the position to cause Hibs problems?
But again, even there, you look at Kai Andrews, who's looking for somebody to go long. Every one of them comes short to the ball.
Yeah, they need a little conversation to decide what they're going to do. As Dwight Gale loses out initially, then gets the second ball won, almost on to Chris Cadden, who's now in a position of Kai Andrews coming forward down the left-hand side. Lovely slip ball into Jack Vale. Vale sends it out wide onto Watt. Watt with the opportunity to take on O'Hara. He's going to cut back on the inside though. Flicks the ball back. Here's Andrews. Andrews up against Cadden. Somehow gets the cross in. It was a decent one. Bushiri got the header away. They'll fall to O'Donnell outside the box, but he's held up by Obito. Obito's trying to let that run out of play, and he does so successfully.
That annoys me, that they're not in control of the ball there, and it's actually a Motherwell throw, and I don't know why Obito doesn't just hook it up the line.
I did wonder. I thought the last contact was that of a Hibs player, but Obito obviously didn't see it. Here's the opportunity. That's what he said. Comes forward, spirals it off Obito, and Motherwell have their first corner of the afternoon.
And already they've shown more in this opening 8 minutes of the second half than they had in that opening 50 that we had.
And people will say it's easier to play when you're 2-0 down. You just take the shackles off and go for the game. That's what they should have been doing right from the off, because we all know Hibs have been on a good run, but they're not a top-class side. They're a decent side who've got a little bit of confidence, and Motherwell have allowed that to escalate.
Yeah, you've won on this ground already this season. Here comes Jack Vale. Hibs leading by 2-0. Vale plays it in. Simple header down the middle. Bruce has it. Masudisi back into the middle. Bushiri with a header away. Sparrow once more tries to get the header back into the area. It's too strong, and it's going to run behind. There's a good nod of Motherwell fans behind that goal. They're looking for something to get excited about. The flag waves, but not with great enthusiasm at the moment. They are trailing by 2-0, but looking better.
They are. It's going to be an expensive few weeks for the Motherwell fans. They're away to Kilmarnock on Wednesday night. They're away here. They're away to St Johnstone next week in the Scottish Cup. I think they're away to St Johnstone after that in the Premiership. So hopefully the team can start picking up results to give them a bit more encouragement.
And that'll give them encouragement. Triantis with a really poor pass. Hibs haven't started the second half as you would have expected.
Yeah, he just wandered in at half-time, thinking perhaps the game is won. Hard to recapture the intensity, but that's what they have to do. And at the moment, there's Hibs 2, Motherwell 0. St Mirren and Dundee United goalless in Paisley. And in the Championship, no goals. Falkirk against Queen's Park. Falkirk lost just one of the last 6. Queen's Park, well, the win against Livy last time out, ending a run of 3 without victory, but the ball was out of play on that far side. But you wondered about the purpose of Motherwell. Do they look like they've got a better idea of what they're trying to do, Steve?
I think they are. I think it certainly looks better. The fact that they've got Maswanisi up there, they've got Tony Watt, Jack Vale, they've got 3 people up the pitch as opposed to 2, and sometimes the first half it was only 1. So having 3 players up the pitch gives the midfield players, the wing backs, the centre halves more options to try and pass the ball into them. However, it then boils down to quality. The quality up to them has to be better.
The opportunity for the throw on that far side will come for Motherwell. Well, after back-to-back wins against St Mirren, Dundee United won 1 of the last 6 points from 6 games. They're battling hard in the midfield, and they have it, and it comes out wide. It'll be picked up by O'Donnell. O'Donnell down below us on this near side. Sends it forward. Masonisi is going to lose out to Jack Ardale. Ardale, unfussy player, sends it forward. Here's a chance for Boyle. Ball takes the touch, tries to get away from Casey, stops, runs into Stephen O'Donnell, spins away from him, then runs into Tom Sparrow. Andrews does enough to bring it down to Sparrow, who closing down by Josh Campbell. The ball high in the air, headed forward by Blaney, taken down by Dylan Levitt. Not a great ball forward. And Motherwell can gather. Kai Andrews brings it back to terra firma, now plays it forward the halfway line onto Watt. It's not really a ball on there. Ball bounces back into Kai Andrews, and Motherwell come again. Motherwell on the halfway line, trailing away from home by 2-0. This fixture had been won both times this season by the away side, but it would take an almighty change for that to continue. Motherwell trailing by 2-0. Casey's calling for the ball at his feet. Balmer's telling him to move, and the ball is eventually played forward onto Andrews. Over the halfway line come Motherwell. Now the little interchange by Watt, tries to find Jack Vale, but Bushiri is in there again dummies the ball away to play the short pass. Cadden helped to the ground, and the referee decides there was no free kick, and Motherwell have it.
That looked a foul to me. The referee's right on the spot though.
And decided there was no problem, and Motherwell have it inside their own half. No harm done from a Hibs perspective, certainly thus far.
They're having more possession, Motherwell, but doing very little with it.
Just trying to find a way to link. Here's Tony Watt. Dropped on to Sparrow as Stephen O'Donnell runs over the ball. It goes out of play. Stuart Kettlewell yells at Sparrow for the quality of the ball across. And Motherwell, well, it's a promising little move, Stephen. There's a bit of space down this right-hand side.
It was, they'd spent, probably 5 or 6 passes building it up. I think when Stephen O'Donnell made the run forward, he's expecting Tom Sparrow to hit Maswanisi. He was then going to go round Maswanisi and see what happened, but Tom Sparrow made the wrong choice.
Hibs with a throw from the halfway line. Gale wins it, knocks it down onto Campbell. Campbell almost got it through to Boyle. Shane Blaney away. Hibs have it again. Obita flicks it up, but it's out of play. Dwight Gale. I will not begin to tell you what he just said, because I'd never work again. He's not a happy boy.
He's disgusted. I think Hibs are going to make a change again. I think Hibs will make that change. It'll probably be Levitt. He's not really been in the game for me, Levitt. Triantis, yeah. Campbell makes runs forward. I watched Levitt, and I've seen him at United. A sort of terrific player, scores goals. His game's just dropped off.
Been out a long time, so we'll see if perhaps he was going to be given an hour and then come off. Kai Andrews lays the ball back onto Blaney. Blaney back to Andrews, being closed down by the aforementioned Levitt. Levitt did well, but somehow Andrews emerges through the ball, and he says, Tasmanisi, you move forward. He does so, brings it under control. Good play, but well read by Jack Iredale. And now Hibs can move themselves forward. The ball played out wide to the left-hand side onto Josh Campbell. Gale splitting to one side, and Campbell, well, Gale made the move that way and then checked his run. The ball was too heavy, goes behind. It remains Hibs 2, Motherwell 0.
It's just the execution from Josh Campbell. Jack Iredale does really well. The intercepts from Maswanisi allows Hibs once again to use that running power they have from midfield forward to go and get after Motherwell. And it's all about the pass, all about the way to pass from Josh Campbell, let him down.
Here comes Motherwell, ball up to the halfway line. Kai Andrews works the little 1-2. He's trying to run away to try and get away from Levitt. Plays it short onto Tony Watt. Watt plays it forward onto Vale. They were very close together. Vale tries to then get it up to the edge of the area. Masonisi couldn't do so. Dylan Levitt picks up. Dan Casey intercepts with a header. Comes down to Tom Sparrow, and Sparrow plays it back onto Blaney. Blaney across onto Dan Casey. Casey over the halfway line. Masonisi gets away nicely, spins the ball out wide. Here's Tom Sparrow. Sparrow being tracked back by Josh Campbell though. Outside the box, right hand side, plays it back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell into the middle, the header just up and over the top from Tony Watt, who said there was a deflection, but the ball's gone behind, and it remains 2-0.
Much better for Motherwell. The sub at half time, Masvanisi's come on, he's in bit of injection of pace, he's going long as well, he's in the build up there, it's back to O'Donnell, good ball in, and Watt, although he's getting pinned by the Hibs centre half, he gets a header on it and just knocks it over the top of the crossbar.
Brian McLaughlin is pitch side.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of changes made by Hibs, a couple of rigorous warm-ups here for Lewis Miller and Junior Hoylett. They're going to be coming on, the players replacing, at the moment anyway, it's going to be Chris Cadden and Dwight Gale. I think they're just checking at the moment though, making sure that Dylan Levitt's going to be okay to continue. But as it stands, Chris Cadden and Dwight Gale will be the players replaced with Lewis Miller and Junior Hoylett. And it may be indeed that Kwon's also going to be coming on. In fact, I think there has been a change now because Junior Hoylett has just been told to go and sit down again. There's going to be Kwon who's going to be coming on, and he may well be maybe a change as well, because it looks like Dylan Levitt is still hobbling a little bit. In fact, Hoylett is now also coming on, so there's 3 changes that's been made, and Dylan Levitt is the third player that's going to be replaced.
Thanks, Brian. They weren't making that easy for you, were they? They were changing their mind, players going back to sit down. We're at the changes as outlined by Brian McLaughlin, and Dwight Gale's day is done.
He's been excellent, he really has. Leads the line well. He must be a joy to play for, and if you're a young boy at Hibs in the academy or in the reserves, go and speak to Dwight Gale. Go and, get me watch your clips when you're playing in games. Just go and pick his brains. He's a wealth of experience.
So Hibs making the changes. Motherwell looking more dangerous in the second half. Still no goals in Paisley between St Mirren and Dundee United. No goals. That Falkirk against Queen's Park, so no goals there. Alloa nil, Queen of the South 1. There's the scoreline in League One. East Fife under Dick Campbell leading Clyde by 2-0. Edinburgh City still trailing Peterhead by 1-0. Ball gets played forward. Dan Casey. Casey drops it with a simple header onto Stephen O'Donnell. O'Donnell looks ahead. Out to Masonisi on this near side. Takes a touch. Brings the ball back over the halfway line. David Gray just asking his team to come a little bit further forward and not give up so much space. Blaney on that far side. Andrews on the inside to Vale, tries to work the 1-2, he's getting away from Miller, he's going to go into the area. Miller's thought about taking him down, the ball was played on the inside, the tracking back from Josh Campbell, plays it outside the box, on to O'Donnell, O'Donnell into the middle, Iredale turns the ball behind. Excellent play, Kai Andrews.
I think it's Marvin Coletta actually, but it's really good play on the left hand side, just running power, people running forward with the ball. I said earlier in the first half about Ewan Wilson, gets the ball, wants to pass it back. Marvin Coletta wants to go forward. Stephen O'Donnell want to go forward. It's as if they'd taken the shackles off and thought, we have to go after this game. There's no point in losing at 2-0. They've been so much better in the second half.
Why does he not hit it though, Stephen? He's got to hit it.
Here's the opportunity for Jack Vale. Second corner for Motherwell. Sends the ball into the middle. No takers. Kai Andrews wears 54. He's at the edge of the area. Plays it forward. Masonisi wearing 55. Clips it in. It's headed back across by Blaney. Came off Casey. And it's hooked away by Hibs. Up towards the halfway line. Sparrow needs some help. Coletta offers that help and gets away from Martin Boyle, and the ball comes all the way back onto Archie Mayer. Hibs leading by 2-0 as Boyle tries to slide to cut out the ball forward. Hibs return it, they get it back, and here is Junior Hoylett, scored in both matches against Motherwell this season. Kwon on the ball, plays it out wide onto Lewis Miller. The three substitutes combining. Kwon on that far side, gathers once more. Dropped inside onto Triantis, who got Hibs' second goal. Ball played back. And O'Hara will play it onto Bushiri, closed down very quickly. Here comes Ardale. Ardale out to Jordan Obita, being closed down by O'Donnell. Then a little flick ball forward onto Josh Campbell. Free kick given. Obita was taken down. Just check, there is only one Josh Campbell because he appears to be just about everywhere at the moment. It was terrific covering at that end to cut out the ball.
He's played well. Another one that's coming to the latter stages of his Hibs contract.
Alan Preston, cynic, alongside me.
I've seen it my whole career. I've seen it.
Well, that means Hibs have a real chance of finishing third, because I think they have about 14 players out of contract.
That's what I said at half time. Did you know? Listen.
Ball on the angle into the area. Stephen Cricket, Alan Preston alongside me here on BBC Radio Scotland.
Well, that's what you do. Play all. Just check they're all got 6 months to go and play them.
Well, just give them all 1-year contracts, which means then you should be getting the best out of them all the time. But listen, we know how the game works. We know how football works. Whether that's a mentality or not, who knows? But certainly their performances have much improved.
Motherwell seeking a way back into the game. Can they find a way? They've won 9-22 in the Scottish Premiership this season. 4 of those have come away from home, and now it's the opportunity. Masonisi on that far side, driving in at Boucher. He's going to take a step back. He's going to try and curl one in. And Jordan Smith gets it in his hands. What was there? Sparrow was there, but the goalkeeper gathered.
But a more competitive second half. Motherwell had to be probably. Stuart Kettlewell said a go at them at half time. He's made a change as well, which has certainly improved them. The changes coming off, Coletta coming on as well, is giving them more pace in the side. Young Andrews is beginning to dictate in the middle of the park. Must be so frustrating for the manager.
You just wonder when you see players first time. I've seen Kai Andrews, he looks like he's got the touch, he's got the control, wants to get involved, and you just hope you're seeing the start of what will be a sensational career. As the ball gets played on the inside, here's Dan Casey. Casey plays the ball forward. Kofi Balmer under pressure. He's going to try and open it up onto that far side. Coletta though can't get there. It's picked up by Vale instead. He'll lay the ball back. Works the 1-2. Now Jack Vale moving forward. Vale pushed from behind by Kwon. And the free kick will be given. And little chance here for Motherwell.
But it shouldn't take for a team to go 2-0 down before they actually want to take touches on the ball and be brave and take responsibility. The first half was all about trying to pass the responsibility onto someone else. Completely different outlook in the second half. They're taking the ball, they're stepping forward, they're playing 1-2s. They think as if they have to make something happen. They now need to plant a little seed of doubt into the Hibs players' minds and the supporters. If they can get this goal, suddenly it can bring them to life.
The opportunity will come for Kai Andrews. First time out on loan from Coventry City. And Motherwell watch as he pings that one forward, takes one bounce inside the 6-yard box and goes wide. So the first poor thing he's done so far this afternoon, and what was a good chance, Alan Preston,
yeah,
goes to waste.
Delivery, really poor delivery from him. He goes flat, over hits it, goes right out, lets that Hibs defence off the hook. As Motherwell, a little bit of impetus there, they're beginning to dominate. As much as Hibs dominated in that opening period in the midfield, Motherwell starting to get a grip of this game in there now.
Here's a chance for Jordan Smith from the goal kick to get action. Everybody's tilted to that right hand side. Radio Scotland on a Saturday afternoon, Sports Sound. As Smith plays it forward, it's headed out of play as a match on in Paisley. St Mirren against Dundee United, the latest from Leanne Crichton.
Yeah, thanks Paul. It's still St Mirren 0, Dundee United 0. Dundee United having the better of the chances, I would need to say, in the last 5 or so minutes. Just most recently Dalby was through in goal. I need to say it was a narrow angle just out to the right hand side of the box, and he looked to go back across. Zach Hemming, but a poor connection made it an easy stop for the keeper. Just under 20 minutes to play. Hopefully we've got goals to speak about very shortly.
Thanks Leanne, certainly hope so. As the ball comes out wide onto Casey, halfway line, plays it forward, headed away by Jack Ardale, drops down to Triantis out wide onto Martin Boyle. Hibs trying to find a killer third goal. Boyle coming down the left hand side, still running inside the area. He goes, he's with O'Donnell, cuts it back. It's good tracking back, the ball comes outside onto Obita trying to get away from Tony Watt. Tony Watt, as clumsy a foul as you will see, and an obvious free kick as you will see.
That's just a little bit of laziness or a little bit of fatigue, one of the two. You can make up your own mind, because he knows he's not going to affect Jordan Obita. He takes himself out of the game by committing himself to try and stop him initially, knocks the ball past him, and he just drags him down for the free kick. But that's what Hibs have got. They've got that counter-attacking ability. The Motherwell overcommit, or they're a little bit sloppy. They can catch them. That's how they're playing the second half. It's probably not ideal or what David Gray wanted. However, that's how the game's panned out.
Motherwell are considering another couple of changes. We'll be down to Brian in a moment. Let's have a look at this free kick. And Martin Boyle stands over it. Boyle has a little look. Josh Campbell is furthest forward inside the 6-yard area. Rocky Bushiri is forward, now prolific goal scorer. Rocky Bushiri, that's just chipped away in behind. Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, it's interesting because Stuart Kettlewell still believes he can get something out of this game, and he's actually just stopped the 2 changes happening. But it's going to be, at the moment, Callum Slattery coming on along with number 24 Ibiyi Moses. The players coming off, number 7 Tom Sparrow, who just a few moments ago Stuart Kettlewell had a real go for a misplaced pass. Another player being replaced, number 52 is Tony Watt, and that's all 5 changes made now by Motherwell.
Thanks Brian. So certainly using his bench today. Little pat on the back, Tom Sparrow and Stuart Kettlewell just having a little conversation. It looks friendly enough. Sometimes think, Stephen, it's not the best time to be engaging with a manager.
Well, I think the manager's got other things in his mind at this moment in time. But yeah, players come off it, go and sit down. He's now got to try and reshape his team, focus his team. It's great to see Callum Slattery back. He's got really good abilities. Had a long injury layoff, almost a year, just under a year. So it's good to see him back playing again.
Just a second appearance of the season for Slattery, who was 8 for Motherwell. This game not done and dusted just yet. 70 minutes on the clock. We're a little bit behind the game in Paisley just because of the extra time played at the tail of the half. Here's the opportunity for Balmer to try and pick the ball and bring it forward. Can Motherwell find a way back into things? They've lost 9 of 10 when they lose the opening goal. The only one coming at St Mirren. Smash when Hisey loses out. Slattery tried to go in there and Casey just thumped the ball away. Hits it off Boyle, but he wants it back and he's trying to get things moving. He's complaining Josh Campbell got in his way, but Dan Casey just be as well to move on when he throws the ball in onto Stephen O'Donnell. O'Donnell forward. Levi chases after it, but it's headed out wide. Masronisi does well, wins it, now moving down the side, trying to get away from Jordan Obita. He does just really well, takes the touch and moves the ball away Forward it goes, and just trying to find a way through as Bamery was clawed back by Josh Campbell. It's a free kick. Hibs they're not over the line yet. Few worrying signs if you're a Hibs fan.
Yeah, they've certainly dropped off. But you've got to give Motherwell credit. The changes that Stuart's made, they're pressing higher up the park. They're putting the Hibs back 3-4, whatever you want to call it at the moment, under pressure as well. One or two of them, Caleta, Maswanisi, they're making runs over the top, which it was easy for the Hibs defenders because they were just, everything was in front of them in that opening period.
Vale to Caleta, Andrews on the inside. Vale has it, it's been played forward to him, he's battling through for it. Hibs lashing out, it was Iredale that time. The ball comes down to Quan upended by Andrews. That is a free kick, but certainly the fight is there for Motherwell.
Well, you asked me, Paul, if you're playing on a back three against three forwards, how do you defend against it? Hibs are playing a 5 against their 3. I said that's the worst case scenario because Maswanisi's playing high on the right and it's Jack Vale's playing high on the left. So the 3 centre halves are picking up 1 centre forward, which is pinning the 2 wing backs back, which is giving Motherwell more space in midfield because in the first half it was 3 midfield players of Motherwell against 3 midfield players of Hibs. Hibs dominated. Motherwell's only got 2 centre midfield players now against their 3, and Motherwell are dominating. So it's hard to work out sometimes because the 2 wing backs are so deep.
Casey at the edge of his own area, forward onto Slattery, pulls it out wide, onto O'Donnell. O'Donnell sends the ball forward, Maswanisi chasing after it, Ardaire's header back, Muzizabay tries to get there, can't do so. Quan brings it down, pushes it back into his own area. Jordan Smith plays the ball away, and the opportunity for Hibs to go forward. On that far side, flicked back in by Miller, and back across it comes onto Bushiri. Bushiri flicks it onto Iredale. Iredale has it, then swings the ball forward. Motherwell with 3 shots, just 1 on target. Hibs' total shots of 6 has remained unchanged for quite a while. In fact, I'm sure that was the tally at half-time. Slattery upended, and the free kick is won. Junior Hoylett and Campbell just kicking the ball back, and Casey gets things moving again. So, not done and dusted yet. 73.5 minutes gone. Hibs 2, Motherwell 0. Boyle, Triantis in the first half. Motherwell looked down and out. Well, at the moment they might be down as Callum Slattery is sent to the ground, but they're not out. He wins the free kick immediately, gets himself back up. And well, Alan, you've been at this ground often enough. I mean, if Motherwell were to score, you could take the groans round Easter Road.
Yeah, you could, but Motherwell at the moment, they are having more of the ball. We need to do better with it. Certainly got better in the second half, but Hibs have also dropped off.
Callum Slattery, was he taking the mickey out the referee and saying he'll take the free kick from outside the pitch, or did he not realise where he was?
I think he was taking the mick because the referee kept moving him.
I'm pleased the referee's got a sense of humour, because some might not have taken that well. Slattery into the middle, headed away well by Hoylett, breaks down, put back in by Andrews, into the middle it goes. Lewis Miller won the header, Kai Andrews sent it back, it's down to Dan Casey. Casey shouting for a handball. Well, I didn't. It was a booking. Iredale takes down Vale. I didn't think it was a handball, I thought it played the man, but certainly when he turned to try and play the ball, he took down Jack Vale. Free kick, 19 yards from goal.
Here's a wonderful chance. Let's have a look what Motherwell have got.
Shane Blaney's a lefty. He's got a few free kicks in his career. I think he actually scored one for Sligo Rovers against Motherwell in Europe and knocked him out of Europe. Hence the reason why Motherwell ended up signing him after, or one of the reasons why they ended up signing him. So this is his distance, left foot, top, goalkeeper's top left-hand corner, potentially.
Right, I'm going to go Slattery outside of the wall.
There's the opportunity. Just checking the expected goals for Hibs in the second half, 0. No shots on target, no shots from inside the box, 4 touches in the opposition box. That has been it. So the opportunity.
But they've done their work in the first half.
Well, that's it.
If you're leading by 2 goals to 0, you can do that. As long as you defend well, and as Alan said, keep your clean sheet. It doesn't matter how you play in the second half.
So Smith crouching down at his post, just trying to get the wall just right. There's the opportunity. Well, Blaney is there. He's having a little chat.
It's a bit unusual, Motherwell sticking 2 players behind the wall.
Yeah, it's slightly strange. Here comes the chance. Up and in, Slattery! Drags the ball across, through the wall and into the back of the net, and Motherwell have their lifeline. Callum Slattery, the goal scorer. He's had such a tough time of late. He'll be absolutely thrilled with that. Motherwell back in the game. Hibs 2, Motherwell 1.
And it's also Alan Preston 1, Stephen Craig in there. I thought it would have been Shane Blaney. He thought it would have been Callum Slattery. However, he didn't go outside the wall. He reversed it back past the wall. The goalkeeper tried to gamble. He tried to go left, thinking it was going to go down his left-hand side, and he's had to go back to the right-hand side. I just wonder were the two players behind the wall interfering with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, they're in his eye line.
If they were offside. If they're onside, that's fine. I don't know if they were offside or not. There's going to be a check.
But check complete. The goal will stand. Hibs 2, Motherwell 1.
See, that's centre-halves for you that don't get to take free kicks. Let me just tell you, Stephen, the one that places it 99 times out of 100 takes it.
Change coming.
Game on now, though, Paul.
Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, it's a pretty nervy Hibs bench, you'd have to say now. Looking at the clock here, 76 minutes gone. Nathan Mariah Welsh coming on for Josh Campbell. That's all 5 changes now made by Hibs.
So, both teams have emptied the bench, and Hibs all of a sudden find themselves having to pick it up again as good closing down by Vale. Motherwell, the next couple of minutes will be interesting.
Well, I've been at Easter Road, and that everyone tells me Hibs have changed. They're a better side than they are. The results tell you that. Let's see if they are, because when this would happen previously, they would start to panic, they would start to make mistakes. Let's see if this Hibs team has really changed.
Little head flick on my Hoylett. Casey tries to get the ball away, and Mariah Welsh immediately getting himself involved but can't get on the ball. Now it's dragged away. Motherwell up by the halfway line. Kwon wins the header, comes down nicely. Good footwork by Triantis. Triantis, though, eventually is felled. It is a free kick. Callum Slattery didn't agree, but it is the opportunity for Hibs to bring it forward. And well, you always wonder, 2-0 is that kind of lead. You mentioned it. You get that goal back, anything can happen.
Well, it's now Motherwell who are snapping into tackles and pressing and putting Hibs under pressure. First half, the Hibs centre-half spent so much time in the ball, they were dictating the game. Now they're getting pressed at every opportunity, and that's credit to Motherwell.
Kwon has on the far side, tries to get away from Andrews. Andrews takes him down, didn't need to. Coletta was right there as well, so the opportunity now for Hibs to try and get a free kick into the box. Rookie Bushiri makes his way forward, Warnahora as well. So set play chance, Alan.
It is. Let's go back to that goal, Paul. If I'm Jordan Smith, I'm beat at my side. The wall's marking one side, he's got to protect the other. See if he gets beat with the ball going outside of the wall, fair enough, but he's beat his side. Really poor goalkeeping.
What I'm saying, it wasn't right in the bottom corner.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't right in the bottom corner.
It wasn't the hardest shot in the world either. I mean,
it's been done. He honestly thinks that Blaney's going to take it.
Brain, not Braun. That was the opportunity. Now what can Hibs do on the return? Great ball into the middle. Archie Mayer comes. Man down to the back post. It's a penalty kick. Miller is taken down. Stephen O'Donnell is the man who's penalised, and Hibs have another chance to extend their lead. Well, really disappointed defending from Stephen O'Donnell. The ball was swung in, and all of a sudden Lewis Miller was on the ground, and referee Colin Stephen said penalty.
I think it's an easy decision for the referee. He's looking right at it. O'Donnell's furious with himself more than anything. He knows what he's done, and what he has done, he's letting Hibs off, because Hibs could have been nervous. Here's a chance to end the game with 10 minutes to go.
Before the ball was struck, I could see that Stephen O'Donnell was grabbing him. I then took my eye off him and looked at the ball, and then Lewis Miller was landing on the ground. So clearly it must have continued.
Well, there's a bit of pushing, there's a bit of shoving going on at the edge of the box. The referee, who was inside the box on the left-hand side, is asking the players to vacate. The penalty is confirmed. Triantis is standing by the spot. Martin Boyle has the ball in hand, and the referee is now saying to Archie Mayer, get yourself back on the line. 6'6", the goalkeeper, all in red, standing up against Martin Boyle. Martin Boyle, 4 goals since 2021 against Motherwell. Takes a step back, scored once already this afternoon, got a double against Rangers last time out. This is a chance for a double here. Will it be back-to-back braces for Martin Boyle? He stands to the left, he'll step forward, right-footed, throws it straight down the middle, puts his fingers to his lips. Easter Road erupts. It should be enough for Hibs now with 10 to play. Hibs 3, Motherwell 0, a double for Martin Boyle.
And I think, see, if it's on the other side and it's a young Wilson that gives the penalty away, that's an experienced pro that's now cost his team. You know, Hibs were maybe rocking a little bit, but O'Donnell makes a very, very lazy, in my opinion, and foolish mistake, which has gifted Hibs that penalty in third goal.
Well, that's probably the 3 goals that Stuart Kettlewell can look back at and think Motherwell played a huge part in them. There's no doubt about it. Your most experienced player, what can you say to him? He knows he's made an individual error, he knows he's been caught wrong side, and the worst thing is, the free kick that came in went straight into the hands of Archie Mirren. Lewis Miller was never involved in the play, the ball was never going to get to him, so it's just relieved any pressure that was going to build, and now I think Hibs will coast home.
It's one of them where you apologise after the game to your teammates. Really poor from an experienced pro.
It's been 2 3-3 games at Easter Road already this season, just saying. You never know, but Hibs, it's exactly what they wanted. They got themselves ahead, they've got the 2-goal margin re-established. Although Motherwell now trying to fly forward down that left-hand side through Jack Vale. Vale into the middle, it's a little high, and Obita will get the ball away. Taken down and moved forward by Balmer. Little interchange, Coletta and Andrews pushed out wide again to Vale. Here's Kai Andrews into the middle, it goes stretching was O'Hora and trying to get in there, it was Ibaye, and he's going to win a corner for Motherwell. Not over yet, but Motherwell realise they've self-inflicted Hibs' 3rd goal. Can they find a way to get a second themselves?
Well, they never really gave Hibs that opportunity to get nervous by defending. You know, it was so quick between the 2 goals. Really disappointing from Motherwell's point of view, but as far as Hibs are concerned, they'll be absolutely delighted.
A double from Martin Boyle, a goal from Nectarius Triantis. Callum Slattery pulling one back for Motherwell. Hibs 3, Motherwell 1. Corner kick, it's low, and Hibs get 2 blockers there, including Mariah Welsh, and that goes behind. Nathan Mariah Welsh, sub against Rangers, was his first appearance in 13 games. So there's 1 or 2 players a little bit rusty. We'll see what happens. Juno Hoylett is the player standing outside the box on the right-hand side where the corner is going to come in from, just in case it goes in short. But Lewis Miller wins the header. Ball drops down, headed out wide. That's when he say. On to Vale. 2 forward players were waiting outside the area. Here comes Slattery, back onto Vale. Vale tries to send it down the side. Good closing down by Hibs. Excellent play by Hoylett. And Miller will play it back inside to the Canadian, who takes the touch, returns it on to Lewis Miller. Mariah Welsh made a great run through the middle. It's sent out wide onto Boyle. Boyle's beaten his man. He's inside the box looking for the hat-trick. And coming across there was Palmer. Everybody in Easter Road claims for a penalty kick. The assistant, who had a good view, kept his flag down, and the referee in good place as well.
I think the player goes to ground. Does it hit his thigh and then onto his hand?
Yeah, I think it strikes off his leg and hits his hand. So is it a handball? Yes. Is it a penalty kick for the laws of the game? No.
Well, the voice is Stephen Craig and Alan Preston alongside me. There's been a goal in Paisley. The breakthrough comes. Leanne Crichton.
Yeah, the breakthrough comes, Paul. 88 minutes on the clock, and it's Dundee United that are going crazy just now. I don't actually know how the ball's ended up in the back of the net, but Louis Moult had a brilliant effort. The ball looked to me like it was going to be cleared inside the 6-yard box, and somehow it's found its way right into the bottom corner. The St Mirren players are totally dejected, but it's Jim Goodwin's side that march on. St Mirren 0, Dundee United 1.
Thanks, Leanne. So confirmation comes on. The ball was played onto his hand by his body, so there's no penalty kick there, as Hibs looking through Boyle. Plays it out wide, free kick Kevin. Mariah Welsh penalised. The Hibs fans getting a little bit vocal here. Over 5 minutes to play. And despite that 3rd goal, Alan, you get the feeling that the home fans don't feel that they're done and dusted quite yet.
No, they're back in their team, rightly so. You know, Hibs a real hold of the game in that opening period. Motherwell made it a better contest, but then they've let them off the hook. As soon as they get back in the game, Motherwell shoot themselves in the foot.
Zabai wins the corner. Ardale comes across, knocks it out of play, so another corner and the chance to get the ball in the middle.
And I think that's where Stuart will be disappointed. The 3 goals were preventable. And another thing, when you look at Miller, I don't think Miller's the best defensive player Hibs have got, but what he is, he's very effective in both boxes. He gets pulled down, he's always on the end of things, he clears headers in his own box as well.
Callum Slattery looking to deliver. Hibs 3, Motherwell 1, short corner. Hoylett comes out to try and attack Vale. Masronisi at the edge of the box gets the ball, trying to go to the byline. He might have to pull this back onto Vale. He does so. Vale into the middle. It's a terrible ball. Miller scoops it away. Kai Andrews tries to twist his body, gets it down onto Slattery. He'll hook it out wide, taken down by Jack Vale, who's trying his luck on this right hand side, but he's given the ball away. He got caught as he played the ball away, and he's off the field of play as Hibs sweep the ball from left to right and head the ball back to Warren O'Hara. And now on to Triantis. Hibs can't remember. They've been a bit frantic, but they can just take the sting out of the game now.
Yep. Motherwell almost down to 10 men. Vale can hardly run.
Yeah, he's got a sore one at the moment. He's trying to just run that off. St Mirren 0, Dundee United 1. Louis Moult's 5th goal of the season. Could take all 3 points for Dundee United. And it's still Falkirk 0, Queen's Park 0. We'll run you through all the scores. Scorers action, get reaction. Kenny McIntyre and the guys coming up after this one is finished. Jack Iredale sends it over the halfway line. Header comes down. Mariah Welsh tries to gather. O'Donnell slides in. Kwon tries to gather. I thought Slattery was fouling Hoyland, but Hoyland did well. Held on to the ball. Played it across the halfway line. On to Lewis Miller. Miller onto Boyle. Boyle closed down and the ball just gets knocked out of play, and Boyle will gather one off the tee fit. He'll clip it into the hands of Lewis Miller. He's in no great hurry. Ball comes back to the halfway line. 15,829. There's a penalty at Paisley though. Let's get the details. Leanne Crichton.
Yeah, there is, Paul. It's come late on in the game, and I'm just going to wait because it didn't look too clear-cut to me, to be honest. I've got a feeling VAR might have a look at it. Whether it will be given or not, I don't entirely know. I think it's going to be Olisanya that takes the kick if it's given. St Mirren certainly have responded really well. They're going behind with that wonderful Louis Moult goal. An overhead kick it was that found the only route to goal. Olisanya had a brilliant chance a few minutes ago that he could have got in front.
Well, here's the opportunity.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you in a second because Hibs are attacking, looking for a fourth. Here comes Hoylett, scored in both these matches this season. Loses out on the edge of the area. It's going to be taken forward. Hoylett wins it again. It's on to Obita. Obita into the middle, and it's cleared once more. Frantic ending here at Easter Road. We'll get confirmation. We'll be back in Paisley as soon as we can. Here comes Kwon, lays the ball back onto Iredale. Hibs 3, Motherwell 1. Motherwell did cut it to 2-1, but Hibs with a penalty, and Martin Boss smashing it into the back of the net after O'Donnell needlessly pulled down Lewis Miller. Hibs just playing the ball across the back four. There's an energy about Motherwell. They still sense there might be something in this, but under 2 minutes to play. Let's get back to Paisley. Leanne.
Yeah, penalty saved. Jack Walton does remarkably well. I don't think the penalty from Olisanya was well hit at all, if I'm being honest. Keeper gets down low to his left-hand side and shovels the ball clear. Stephen Robinson is left scratching his head. It remains St Mirren 0, Dundee United 1.
Thanks, Leanne. Well, you'd want your top goal scorer with a penalty kick to get your point, and well, they had the opportunity and haven't done so.
United season so far.
Yeah, certainly working their way. They lead in Paisley by 1-0. Hibs leading here by 3 goals to 1. 89 minutes on the clock. Mariah Welsh will gather, plays the ball on the inside onto Kwon and back onto Obita. Stuart Kettlewell down below. Be a fascinating interview with Brian at the end of this game. It's finished in the Championship. Falkirk 0, Queen's Park 0. Good point for Queen's Park. Hibs play the ball forward again through Obita. Jordan Obita gets the ball on the inside. Kwon flicks it forward. Nathan Mariah Welsh is chasing it down. Kofi Balmer tries to gather, tried to play it over his shoulder. It was blocked. He now hooks it away. Hoylett brings it down beautifully and now just jabs it forward, works the 1-2. Nobody inside the box though, so he'll have to try and drag the ball inside himself. He now waits. He's got 2 inside the box. Mariah Welsh on to Kwon. Hibs looking to finish with a bang. Hoylett tries to play it in, came off Balmer. Corner kick.
Yeah, the third goal has completely taken all the stuff out of Motherwell. They're just hanging on now. They're looking for the final whistle. Hibs have got control of the game. They've managed it really well. They get back to 3-1 and they've said no more risks. Let's just play in Motherwell's half and see if we can get a fourth goal. But as it stands, we're going to win the game.
3 additional minutes to be played. Allo Athletic got a late penalty. They were 1 down to Queen of the South. Scott Taggart has scored that one. Toyosi Olisanya missing for St Mirren against Dundee United. Save from Jack Walton. So the opportunity sometimes presents itself late. East Fife have beaten Clyde 3-0. Edinburgh City trailing to Peterhead, and Forfar and Elgin have finished at 1 apiece. Corner kick to come. Hibs looking to round out in style. Boyle has it up with Hoylett. He's just going to hold on and just touched out of play. And the opportunity again for Hibs to get the throw. Kai Andrews drops back. Nick Tarius-Triantes has been named as man of the match, perhaps not unsurprisingly given the nature of his performance and his goal. Hibs just seeing things out. 3 additional minutes being played. We've played 1 of them and all the action is across to our right hand side for the opportunity. Here's the chance again to try and get the ball in, but good play by Motherwell on the right hand side, just closing Hibs down, knocking it out of play. But it's difficult, you don't want to concede the free kick, but I think they realise the game's done.
Yeah, well, we've got about a minute and a half to go off added on time. It's Hibs deserve to win. Make no mistake, Motherwell didn't do enough over the course of 95, 96 minutes. That first half, and the goals that they've lost, Stuart Kettlewell will be cursing his team. They got back into the game with a decent free kick, then let Hibs right off the hook within a couple of minutes.
Well, Hibs will be 17 points from the last 7 games compared to 12 points from the first 16 in the league this season. Slattery, the goal scorer for Motherwell, brings it forward to O'Donnell, who gave away the penalty kick. And really, with it, Motherwell's chances of staging a comeback. Casey on the inside from the halfway line, on to Slattery. Slattery gets it on to Jack Vale. Vale comes forward, digs it out wide. Coletta has a little look, see where his options are. Ball into the middle. Bailly tries to get up. The ball is headed behind it. Came off a Hibs defender, so Motherwell will get a corner. They'll run away. They'll try and chase this ball into the middle as quickly as they can through O'Donnell. Slattery will interchange. Slattery looks up, gets the cross in, and again, as Alan mentioned, Lewis Miller seems to find a way to clear these things. Back in by O'Donnell. Miller is in there again to send the ball away, and it's Martin Boyle who scampers forward, gets on the end. Bashiri's towering through the middle. Jack Vale takes down his man. Boyle reacts angrily. There'll be a card for Jack Vale, and yellow card it will be. That's the offence. Rocky Bushiri was like Rocky Balboa running through the middle there. Right. Shown a straight red.
Is it a red? I mean, we see these tackles all the time. I don't like the tackle, but the fact that I think it's just clipped his heels. That's what it looked like for me. I know there's no attempt to play the ball, but it's still a little bit reckless. I'm not too sure, because Martin Boyle jumps up and chases after him, so it wasn't endangering an opponent.
I think that's yellow, Alan Preston.
Well, it's cynical. It's very cynical. It depends where he's caught him. Has he caught him on the? Stephen thinks it's a clip. I think he might have caught him on the ankle, but it'll be checked.
Well, Jack Vale standing on the edge of the area. Stuart Kettlewell can't believe it. Let's be honest, we've seen it so often in football, guys. You go through, you know you're beaten, but the red card has been confirmed for serious foul play, so it was the nature of the challenge as opposed to where it was, because we've seen that a million times.
Well, we haven't had a second look at it. No, it just looks like one of those cynical fouls where the attacking player's away, the defender slides in, clips his heels and trips him up.
Full-time whistle at Easter Road. So Jack Vale rules himself out of Motherwell's next game for that straight red card. But it was Hibs' afternoon. First half goals from Boyle and Triantis. Boyle in the second half for the penalty after Slattery had pulled a goal back for Motherwell. It's finished at Easter Road. Hibs 3, Motherwell 1.
On digital radio.